Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are lucky enough to have Jonathan Kite, star of Two Broke Girls, and well, a beast when it comes to
well-dressed, too.
Well-dressed,
Well-dressed.
sexy.
You look like you came just off the runway out of New York.
Yeah, plays a Ukrainian guy on television, but is actually an American. Got a wingspan on him.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how our boy Brennan Schaub over here did stand-up, really technically for the second time. Even though you've done a lot of stand-up with our live shows, that was your second time solo at the Comedy Store.
Solo, yeah.
18 minutes you were up there for?
About 18,
How
right
dare
under
you.
20. They turned the red light on. I was like, well, I'm going to wait till someone kicks me off. I'm going to get this stuff out, see what happens.
Packed house, too.
Read one book, saw my boy Eddie Murphy did that. I'm going to try that myself till they kick me off.
That's all.
Read one book.
That's all. And you were prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Rehearsed and prepared.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, obviously I'm nervous. You guys obviously know how it is when you're doing stand-up. But I think I'm less nervous because I've done it so many times, not in front of a live crowd, but at home.
He brings that
Brian,
pro athlete
from my
work ethic
friends.
to stand up.
Yeah. He does reps.
Well, I told him, I said yesterday, I go, they always say it takes like 10 years to be a comic, 20 years, but if you work as hard as you do and you're always rehearsing it, it doesn't have to take that long.
No, it doesn't.
Especially if you're thinking about it all the time.
And for me, the challenge is because we do the live fire and the kids, right? In front of sold out 1,000 crowd, whatever. But it's Brian and I doing it, and there are people who are familiar with me. They're fans of the show, blah blah blah. So it's like I'm the funny uncle at the barbecue. But when I go to the Comedy Store, I really don't promote it for a reason. I really don't talk about it because I want just people who want to see comedy. So I don't want like my, the Fire and the Kid army there per se. So it's cool. It's a different challenge.
Well, you're doing something completely alien. Like if I had told you you'd be doing stand-up 2 years ago, it's an important lesson for people who are trying to do something new. You always hear people like, I want to do something new, but I should have started a long time ago. Well, that's not true. You can. It's kind of crazy if Brennan had told his friends, "Hey, I've been a fighter and a pro athlete this whole time. I'm going to do stand-up in 2 years." People would have been like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
But I get reps on, how many shows have we done? Probably over 200.
You don't get that many reps.
Well, I'm just saying, like, as far as comfortable
you mean
speaking.
you mean
just speaking,
improv? Yeah.
improv, and then when we do the live fire and the kids, it's all improv.
Yeah.
And then, I think as many interviews as I do and TV gigs I do, you're constantly coming up with
Well, you're
stuff.
a natural, but it's got to feel good.
Yeah.
When you write all that stuff?
Yeah, I felt alive.
And you threw some new stuff in there?
Threw some new stuff in there. And then my boys, Tony Jeffries and Glenn and Jen and Wes and, CAA and Alchemy Management, all those guys are. So the whole squad is there to support me.
I had my sister's
there.
birthday. Killed me. I killed me.
The whole squad. Keely decided to go to lousy Dodgers game. That's not a big deal. But to have
his feelings to get hurt.
To have the whole team there is awesome, man. But afterwards, we went to that Katana Sushi next door. Great sushi. Not giving that stuff away. Great sushi. But I was there with Tony, and I was like, dude, how great is my fucking life? Can't get any better, man. Cannot get better.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Jonathan, how's
I feel
your
alive
life?
doing it, man.
Yeah,
You've been doing stand-up for how long?
4 years.
Only 4 years. Coming
4
out
years.
of a sketch background. You did Jamie Foxx's show.
Yeah, we did a sketch show for Fox maybe
I remember that.
a long time ago, like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah.
What was it called?
It had a couple names. It used to be called After Party, and then it became In the Flow with Afion Crockett, which just sounded like a
After
tampon
party
commercial.
in the flow.
In the
They're just
flow.
trying to be, hey, I'm hip. We like black people.
In the flow, right?
Hey.
There was
Turned up.
There was a robot doing the robot, a la Monday Night Football.
God damn it. Do they hate ratings?
Yeah, apparently. We're not there anymore.
What was Jamie? Jamie, I'm such a fan of his.
I love
I've
him
only
so
met him
much.
once, but
Is he the most
the
talented
best,
guy of all time?
He's probably amazing.
He's
Especially
got to be top
alive
3.
right now, if you think about it.
Dude, he is, man. We just
plays the piano, does stand up, can act his ass off.
No, have you heard?
Sings
have
like
you heard
a
him
mother.
sing?
Dude,
Sings.
So we did a project together afterwards where we were like shooting at this bar till like 3 a.m. and he was just on the piano, like amusing himself. The crew was doing something else and he was just sitting there, and then like you just kind of sat there and listened to him play.
Dude, I was at Jeremy Piven's house. I'm dropping names, and I was playing the bongos.
Yeah, let's not do
Jeremy's
that.
playing the drums, and he's on the mic, and he started to sing. dude. And he was singing.
I've sang in that room, by the way. I've done at Jeremy's house.
Yeah.
And the downstairs.
And the basement.
Yeah, of course.
They'll do it at the halftime of the Super Bowl too. It's great. They'll pause the Super Bowl so they can play the band.
That's the halftime show, by the way, at Jeremy Piven's house.
I haven't been back since.
Can't do that, right?
Can't do that.
But he was singing, and he wasn't even saying, like, he was doing this, like, it wasn't even words, and he was so good. And I don't know how to play the bongos, so I was like, I'm playing the bongos. Well, I was a little starstruck because I'm such a fan, and I was like,
no, have you heard his? He has a bit where he talks about growing up in church, and he emulates the singers, and it's
the gospel singers.
I didn't know he grew up in that. It makes sense, though.
Oh, dude, when he talks about like being in a church, and he mimics the pastor, and it is. I mean, the crowd goes nuts. It's
Well, dude, he used to end on that Prince joke, where he would sing as Prince while playing the piano. Wow. Dude, sound just. I mean, it was like,
dude, it's nuts
when he was
how
doing
talented
stand-up,
that guy is.
It's unbelievable.
And then see him in Ray. His acting in Ray,
dude, impossible.
Fuck you.
Sounded like a
Totally. You know what's funny is that there was a story that like I'd heard somebody said about like Whitney and Bobby Brown, and one of them was like, "Damn, Ray Charles has a new special out," and one of them said to the other one, "That's not Ray, that's Jamie Foxx. This was the movie." Like they who knew him couldn't tell the difference.
Jesus.
It's nuts how talented he is.
It's incredible. There's nothing that guy can't. And he played sports in high school. He was a football player.
You can see him. He's
When
athletic looking.
Dude, he was in Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, and I believe that
Willie
he was
Beeman.
Steam and Willie Beeman.
Yeah.
There's
Great
nothing
movie.
that guy can't do.
I know.
Yeah.
So he was
talented.
like, that's one of the most fun times we ever had. I mean, that I ever had was working with him. And so I did that sketch show. It had its course. We ran. But then when I got Two Broke Girls, we get the summers off. And so I was sitting at the Improv actually, and two of my buddies, Ian Edwards, who I know you know real well, and Taylor Williamson.
I love
were
Taylor.
To the best. We were kind of sitting around and BSing him. I was like, dude, I don't have anything to do with this summer. And they were just like, you should try to do stand-up. You have time. And that was literally the conversation. The next day, I got up and started doing 3-4 mics a night and tried to.
And you were
write.
doing impressions?
That's what you do a lot? That's like the weird thing, because you were talking about getting nervous. I don't really get nervous on stage even then, but I think when you try out a new impression, where you have to, because anybody, I feel like I can pull it out of the thin air when I'm like just hanging out with my buddies at a bar or whatever.
Right.
But to do it on stage and to do a set bit with it, because if you don't sound like the guy that you're saying that you sound like, then it's not. Then it doesn't work
at all.
At all. And then it seems like people are like, no,
yes,
next.
Well, but I think the challenge with impressions is how many people are going to try and do it. So you're going to compared to, let's say you're doing Donald Trump. There's a lot of fucking good.
Well, that's the thing, man. So I try to do impressions of guys that I'd never heard people do before. Like that was really important to me, because I think that there is, for a long time, generationally, people have been doing, Jack Nicholson, which is great. Like I'm not
Robert De Niro,
Pacino, Walken. Those are great.
George
Arnold
Bush,
Schwarzenegger,
Bill
George
Clinton.
Bush,
Those
which
are the
is
main
great.
ones.
But like those had been done for so long that like I felt like I didn't have anything. Not just my own self, me trying to find my own voice. I didn't want to go over territory because I'd heard so many other people do it. I'm sure I'd probably be borrowing even if I wasn't aware of it. And so I was like, you got to come at it from a new place so that you can make it your own.
I would love to hear Donald Trump actually say something of substance and actually something intellectual that meant something. Did you see what Mark Cuban just said?
About the money that he was going to give him?
He said, I'll give you $10 million if you let me interview
for a 4-hour
you
interview.
for 4 hours.
That'd be hilarious.
Dude,
but back to your impression. So I think the smart thing is you were aware of that, and people become really successful. They can see the trends, and they kind of go, well, I see this happening now. I'm going to go do this over here in my own lane. Because look at Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Like how many people have interviewed Donald Trump? He grabbed his toupee, his hair. He grabbed his comb over. You know what I'm saying?
I saw the interview.
So who did you single out to do your impressions of? So you didn't.
Well, I did. You know what's funny is I will say this: I do a Donald Trump and I do an Obama, because I felt like when I was doing it, I was one of the only white people I'd ever seen. At the time, I was the only white. I never saw a white.
Can I hear your Obama?
Hello, Brian. This is a fantastic environment. I'm having a great time, and I appreciate you having me here.
God damn, that's good.
pretty fucking
Now,
good.
what would Donald say to Obama?
Let me just say something about
well, Jimmy pointed this out, which I've said before. He had 3 different voices because when he was on The Apprentice, the mic was right. He is not used to being a politician.
No.
So
When he would get up there and he'd try to shout and he'd go, listen, we're going to build a wall so high.
because he didn't realize the mic is like right here, dude. Like in the beginning when he was on The Apprentice, he was just like,
You're fired. Let me just say something. It's fantastical. You know what I mean? You see this hair? This is 100% China. Made in China? Everything about me. My steaks, my ties, China.
but then like when he got on the road, he didn't realize like he had to start shouting. So he was like,
We're going to build a wall. Let me tell you something. We're going to win. We're going to win so big. It's going to be fantastical, ridiculous big. You know?
and then now.
And that's all he says. He just uses those kinds of words.
I'm telling you, he is just the guy
people are like,
he has a word a day calendar and he tries to fit it in.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He literally goes, "It's going to be amazing. It's so amazing.
It's so basic. Bigly.
He used the word bigly in an interview.
Millions and millions."
Millions of, let me just say something. People know that I win big. They know that I'm a winner.
He said this in the Seth Meyers had this on the other night. I'm such a Seth Meyers fan. I think his show is crushing it.
He's brilliant.
He had Donald Trump said the word win 9 times in like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
when he asked about Hillary Clinton, he goes,
Let me just say something about winning. We win. I win. I'm a big winner. I love to win. Okay?
that's not, nobody said, how fast can you say the word win?
Yeah.
Somebody
Right.
was like,
That's
hey
not the
man,
goal here.
are you parked in the lot? Do you need validation?
Let me just say something about winning. I love to. I'm a winner. I win. Yeah, do you need validated? Oh, I need to win.
People are like, nobody's asking you the win question.
Yeah.
Donald.
Hey, but
No, he's
when
incredible.
you decide to do especially when you decide to do Trump back then, he wasn't as like no one was doing that many impressions of him because
No.
he was
No,
as
I
big.
did it on a my buddy. I have to thank shout out to my buddy Chris Renneker because we did a video together for BuzzFeed, and nobody was doing Trump, and this was before anybody thought he had a shot. And he was like, "Well, you do Obama. Can you try to learn a Trump just so we can have it in the video?" And then I was like, "Yeah." So I went home, looked at some videos and stuff.
So it's a very specific sort of, it's kind of the way that he was on The Apprentice, where he was
Yeah.
coming at it.
It's a very good impression.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
it's
much.
I mean,
But
that's fucking.
He's different.
Spot
Like,
on.
you got to understand, like his brain. Make no mistake, he cannot believe he's here right now.
I agree.
It's an accident,
It is.
yeah.
It is an accident.
It was almost like a publicity stunt gone awry. It feels
is.
like. because
It's
because
still
Mark,
right.
Mark Cuban said, "I will pay for I'll give you $10 million to your campaign."
Yes.
And let me interview you for 4 hours. I just want 4 hours, and I'm going to go on your website and ask you basically to elaborate the shit you say on your website. That's all I'm going to do.
That's it.
And
That's
I mean,
brilliant.
when Mark Cuban says that, and he didn't, of course he hasn't responded.
You know what's crazy is everything numbers wise is down rating wise because in sports, TV, and they accumulate.
Oh, it's the greatest show on earth.
They say it's
he's
'cause
trying
Trump
to win
has
the
taken
greatest
these ratings.
reality show
He's
in the
incredible.
history.
He's already won.
Yeah.
He's already won.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
that's the
already
thing.
won.
He will come out of this. He's trying to get his own.
How
network.
famous is he now?
He's trying to be white Oprah, which is what I call him. That he's trying to be like a megalomaniac in a way where it's like she had her own channel. Who had their own channel before Oprah? It's like he's trying to get his own channel.
Mission accomplished.
He's so fucking entertaining. As much as I hate him, he is entertaining. Like you watch him in those presidential debates.
No, you
He's
can't-
hilarious.
you
NFL ratings are down.
You think that's 'cause
NFL
of,
ratings. That's
Trump?
what they say.
Really?
Wow.
But-
Colin Cowherd went on the show was talking about the same thing. How all ratings are down on all if you compare it to last year, compared to the year before, all ratings are down on everything, and the only common factor they can find is Trump. The Trump and Hillary race, everyone's just so balls deep in this, and they're gravitating towards everything Trump and hanging on every word he says, so they think it's taken away from every other form of entertainment.
Wow.
Wait till the presidential debate. They said
Oh,
the
it's crazy.
It will be the highest rated. It will destroy everything.
Well, I love what he said on Fallon the other night. He goes,
It should be the Lincoln Douglas debates where we just talk to each other.
well, there's no moderator.
Oh man.
well, we
I was
can't
like,
have
he-
that.
he would never let her get a word
No,
in
that's what I
edgewise.
mean.
be a
That-
shit
because
show.
that's what he did for the Apprentice.
Yeah.
That's his thing. He will
wants a
out-talk
show.
you with buzzwords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Listen, we could talk about
like what we said about the birther thing the other night when everyone was talking about it. Where he goes, Hillary Clinton started the birther thing, and then
I'm going to finish it. And he goes, I never talked about it.
and then they showed a clip, at least one, but there are like 100 of them from every single calendar year where he won't shut up about it every time a camera's on him. It's like, dude, somebody needs to tell him that recording devices exist.
Well, but the other thing
incredible.
that he doesn't realize that exists are actual facts and statistics.
Yeah.
Like when he goes, "It's never been a worse time to be an African American in America." And this panel with Anderson Cooper, so you know how they do it: half Hillary supporters, half Trump.
Yeah.
And the Hillary supporters, it's the African American woman. She goes, "Well, Well, no, like
No.
look at the statistics. Like from 2011, we're actually down in numbers as far as violent crimes towards black men. Blah,
Sure.
blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're arguing like, well, how bad is it for African Americans? And even Ashton Cooper's like, he has to be kind of neutral.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, I want my president to be aware of actual statistics. Like he can't
Yeah.
just say shit. Like we need to be aware
Yeah.
of the actual facts.
Yeah.
Like don't these
He
facts
makes
matter?
up his own facts.
Well, yeah. Well, make
But there you
America
go.
great
But look,
again.
but look at what's going on. An innocent black man just died, and Anderson Cooper's like, no, I get that. And you can take kind of examples
Cherry
from
pick.
everything.
Right, from every
But
year
just
from the beginning.
The fucking, you can tell he's like trying to be cool, but he's like, just from the statistics.
Well, he
we
also
have
said
to
"Make
go off
America
that."
Great
what's
Again,"
amazing.
and it's like I love it. Like the Daily Show sent people to the Republican National Convention, and they're like, "When was America great? Like, tell us." Like, I agree with you. Like, "Make America." So when do we want to go back to? And they're like, "Well, when we signed the Declaration of Independence." And he's like, "Okay, when women and blacks had no rights."
Well, when blacks were owned.
We're owned. Well, that's what they said. And then they
Yeah.
go, and then they were like, well, hold on. And he goes, well, what about this? And every time they come up with an era, they were just like, yeah, but then there was all this. And
exactly.
they couldn't, none of them could come up with.
There has been real progress made in 2016, and to deny that is to deny the work that went into
There's some
making that
huge
progress.
issues. There's definitely some
Sure.
huge
There always
always
are.
is you. But I love what Michelle Obama says. She's like, America's great right now.
It is.
It is great right now.
There's a lot of good stuff to be with.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you get complacent and say we don't have problems.
Yeah.
But to again, listen to Obama when he gave a speech to Howard University in 2016 recently. Howard University is a black college. He said, to suggest that it's not better than when I graduated in 1983 for a black person is to suggest then that all the work done by black people, civil rights activists on all colors, was for naught.
Yeah.
That's not fair. It's not true.
It's not accurate.
And it's disrespectful.
Absolutely.
And it's just not accurate.
So back then, you did Trump. You're basically the first.
I
white
did
guy
Trump
to do
about a year
Obama.
ago. About a
Okay.
year and a half ago, I started to do Trump.
Still early. Who else did you do?
I did Seth Rogen. I did Vince Vaughn.
Let me hear Seth Rogen.
It's like amazing.
Oh my God.
It's like
I love Seth Rogen. I'm such a fan of his. I love him in interviews. He's such a humble guy. I've never gotten the pleasure to meet him, but whenever I see him in an interview, he like can't believe he's there.
yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he's like, eh. So Conor like, so you have a movie coming out? And he's like, yeah, I guess. Like, what?
Can you as Obama say that you're going to vote for Donald Trump and that the Fighter and the Kid podcast is the mother of all podcasts?
Hello, America. This is President Barack Obama. Let me be clear. I might vote for Donald Trump. And
Mr. President, you'll vote for Donald Trump?
I will vote for him to die.
Okay.
Let me finish. I have a lot of pregnant pauses in my speech.
Yep.
And for The Fighter and the Kid is the greatest podcast, is the mother of all podcasts. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate that, Mr. President.
I appreciate it.
That's so
when you
fucking
do Seth Rogen, these other
God,
guys,
that's good.
the audience love it. I'm assuming.
I mean,
they
I
pick
think
up
so.
on it.
You know, I think it's got to be the right. You know, it's got to be the right thing. It's we were talking a little bit off camera because you got to. I don't want it to be. And I have respect for the people that came before me, but I think that the way where comedy is right now, in my sensibilities, I don't want it to be like. Can you believe the other day I was in a deli, and Christopher Walken was at the deli.
Yeah.
Which is the way that I think that impressionists kind of got a hacky reputation. But there are plenty of great impressionists. I mean, like Melissa Villaseñor, who you know, and I know, who just got SNL. That woman is so smart and so talented, and she is a shining example of how to make the impression work.
Because impressionists get a bad name from some comics, right? They don't get the same respect.
Well, it's considered sometimes it can be considered hacky.
right?
Yeah. However,
I heard Maron talk about it on Howard Stern, however old that, I don't know if it's a new one, but I listen to Stern all the time. They had Maron on there, and Stern was going, you know, like guys who use props or like, you know, or do impressions.
Yeah,
And
but,
he's
but
like,
Howard Stern loves impressionists.
but
Howard loves them, but he's
But
talking to
Maron
Maron.
was saying,
and
yeah,
Maron
yeah.
goes, there's a place for it, I guess. There's just a different route, you know, like
Well,
it's a
yeah.
little bit different. It's not as creative, maybe. is what Maron
when
said,
you're as
not for
good
me.
at it as you are, and you can put things in it and tell stories, that's when it gets.
Well,
really
that's what I try to do. Is I try to like because I admire these people, and I got like I was thinking about just kind of the new stuff I'm working on. of where I'm at and how people perceive me, because these are just people at the end of the day. I know, like,
Yeah.
you know, we do impressions of Obama and we put like people are putting Trump either down or they put him on a pedestal. He's just a guy who takes his pants off to shit. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same dude. So you got to think of like the human side of him, because that's what I do is I do a speech to him about bullying. I go, his stuff is like how there's so much anti-bullying. I feel like he's just a bully. Everything that he does is like pro-bullying.
Bully
Yeah.
boy, yeah.
So, right. So I do him as just a bully. And so it's like, you know, and that's kind of, because that's what he is at the end of the day.
What do you do?
I go, I do something like, what is it? I go,
Let me just, I say, this is Donald Trump, and let me just say something. When I become the next president, which I will, this is fact, okay? I'm going to become the greatest, you know, I love to bully. I think it works. I think it breeds success. I'm the most successful person. You know who tells me that? Me. I'm the most trusted person I can think of. Donald, who's the most trusted? It's you, obviously. Thank you, and because we win. And I'll just say something. People say, well, what are you going to do about the world? Well, let me just say something right now. I love the Chinese. I love those chicks. I love them, you know? You know, people say, do you love the China? Yes, I love General Tsao. I love his chicken. It's fantastical. It's not as good as American chicken, a.k.a. orange chicken, a.k.a. Trump chicken, but it's good. I'm going to have them build a wall. If anybody knows how to build a wall, it's those gooks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say something, you know, because, listen, if they could keep the Mongols out, they could certainly do the same thing for the Rodriguez family. And I was just going to say, and I love the Rodriguezes. I love the rapists. And I'll say this about
you know,
That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
How many impressions do you go through on one set?
well, it depends, because I'm doing this. I'm trying to do some
Quite a
new
tough balance, huh?
Yeah, you got to balance it.
You
I
must
mean,
be killing the room though.
dude, it's so fun, man. That show that we did together at the Improv,
Yeah.
like that was such a fun night. Everybody, like, it was fun to be up there, like in a room that was really hot, because you got to be with smart people who understand the issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people don't realize that he called all Mexicans rapists,
Yeah.
and that the things that he said, then people go, oh, whoa. But I go, no, that's something that he said.
No, yeah, I'm not making that up.
Right,
I'm
And so
exaggerating the fact that he said
right, because I
that.
used to do a Rush Limbaugh bit that would silence the room.
No.
Where I would do, I would go,
I am Rush Limbaugh. Welcome back to the program. Today we are talking about Barack Hussein Hitler, Osama bin Laden, Megatron Obama. Ladies and gentlemen, the gloves have to come off. I don't even think Obama is black. I think he's faking it like Michael J. Fox and that slow girl Becky on Glee.
and then that would just leave it. And people are like, and people were like, oh my God. I'm like, you know that he said that Michael J. Fox plays it up.
Yeah.
He said that.
Yeah.
And he accused Obama of everything except being black. So I'm like,
Yeah, he calls
you
it
know,
the Oval Orifice.
yeah, dude,
He's just not a very.
So you have to.
respectful guy.
You
So I have no respect for him.
You with those, especially with politics, you have to make sure the audience is on board. You're smart.
Well, I think everybody's on board with Trump.
Yeah.
I've done it in Republican
Trump. You
rooms.
can't. Trump's like doing a Kardashian. Everyone's aware. Everyone's.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying.
But you have, but then you
can't
think about like,
shake 'em.
well, you think about, do people know that he said the thing about all Mexicans are rapists? Like that's a very specific. But he says so much stuff that it gets like, you know,
Blurred.
yeah, because then they go, oh, did he say that? It's like the whole thing with Sarah Palin and Tina Fey. I can see Russia from my house. People aren't sure. You poll America, they're not sure who said that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
and
Was
so-
it Sarah Palin or was it?
Tina Fey?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we're at with Trump. Because like there's a game that like, you know, you could say like 10 things, and if you put 9 of them he didn't say, but one of them people are positive he said, you could get away with murder. You
Yeah,
could get
like
away
tough,
with saying anything like him on stage.
Right.
And so I think that with those type of things, but also when you do the obscure impressions, which I'm trying to do, some people don't know those people.
Such as?
Like Paul Giamatti. We were talking about this. Like he's so big here, he's so big in New York. But if you have to say like the guy from Sideways,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to give his IMDb credits.
Yeah.
Like you want to just say
he's a great actor. But it's tough. I wouldn't say he's
never
not
been
like
nominated for an Academy Award,
He's not mainstream.
Right.
but he's done. Here's
Like
the
until
crazy
you
thing.
said the guy from Sideways, I was like, God, yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. Like
you didn't know the name right away.
not really.
Yeah.
But and that's
If you
the
start
thing.
doing it, I mean, if you start doing them, it might.
Look at this face.
Yeah, you think, well, you got that face. Okay. All right.
I said Paul Giamatti always looks like a
terrible
guy.
face.
He's like he always Paul Giamatti looks like a guy who got the wristband, the VIP at Coachella, because he thought there was more porta potties there. and he got there and there wasn't. So he had to shit on the lawn like a schnauzer.
Like a schnauzer.
And I just have him like, "Nyeh," and he's like, don't look at me. I can't go when you're looking at me. But he's like, there's like always a frustration about him.
He pushes a lot. His acting is intense.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. But his acting is also like sometimes, like if I was directing him, I would say, Paul, you're awesome at that. Let's try pulling it back. He tends to.
Do you think he would say "fuck you"?
No, he'd probably be.
I'm really successful.
No. He'd probably
Thank
be
you,
open.
Brian
I
Callen.
bet you he'd be open to it, and I bet you he's probably very aware of it. So in other words, like he tends to be, he pushes a little sometimes. Like sometimes he doesn't need to be that.
Did you ever see Cinderella Man?
No.
Did you see
Yes.
it? Yeah, with him and Russell Crowe. He's so subtle in that movie.
Great actor.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
But now
some of the biggest
now you know who
movies.
I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
And he's like, he has that like real subtle.
Yeah.
The mic is right there.
Yeah.
Did you see him in Straight Outta Compton? He's the manager.
Yeah. He's the manager. Well, he's so even in that though he finds a way to be like, "Nyeh."
Yeah. That's his go-to, and that's what I mean.
Yeah,
But
well,
he's
pig vomit.
He's excellent, and it works for him. But I can always, and just as an actor, you can always see where that back in the day, his acting teacher was like, "All right, you're over there. Let's bring it over here."
You know where he went to school? He went to Yale.
Yeah,
with Ed
that's
Norton.
Right, actually, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, that guy.
Ed Norton is a smart guy. You ever talk to Ed Norton? Ed Norton is a smart motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's the smartest guy in the room.
Dude,
and he'll let you know. I mean, not in a bad way, but if you bring up a subject, he will take.
Can I tell you how I know that?
Over.
I believe you 100%. You ever listen to the audio commentary on Fight Club?
No.
You can tell
Yeah.
from just listening to him on the audio commentary on Fight
he'll
Club.
come in after you've written a script, and he'll have rewritten it. He'll have.
Dude, he did it with the
scenes.
Hulk. Remember, he did it with the Hulk.
Yeah.
Did you see I forget, he was on a show. He was on a show talking about how his role in American History X, how everyone asked, like, dude, you were jacked, blah, blah. And he's like, no, it was in black and white for a reason. It made me look bigger. It's the camera angles. He's like, I really wasn't that big. I think he said he was 168 pounds, but they made him look like he was like 210
he
shredded.
ate so much food and lifted so much weight, but it was, he's built like me. It's hard to
He
put on
said
muscle.
it's the camera angles, and they did him.
Well, you
in
know
black
how
and
Brad
white.
Pitt only weighed like 165 in Fight Club.
Is that right?
And if you look like on
165,
if you look on
167,
forums and stuff, people are like, God, I want Brad Pitt's body in Fight Club. Even Brad Pitt's like, I was 167
Really?
pounds shredded.
Dude,
In Troy, he was bigger.
Oh,
Troy,
bro. In Troy, he was 390.
Yeah, he walked in. I was like,
240.
somebody's been doing a lot of whatever it is.
I
I
bet you he wasn't bigger than 180.
Probably not.
No. It was over 200 pounds.
No
because I
way.
looked it up.
No
I'm
way.
telling you.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Well, he said he took. I mean,
I thought I'm almost
he was.
He didn't
that was
admit he was
not-
taking
That was not
steroids.
natural, but he was holding water like he had edema, whatever they
Oh,
call
bro.
it. Yeah.
His shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked goddamn
looked
good.
like he was wearing a B. Arthur
Nah, he
sport
looked
coat from the
amazing.
Golden Girls. He had so much shoulder padding
when
there.
he washed himself off after the battle, and the girls were, I was like, yeah,
God,
I mean,
yeah,
he's
damn.
golden.
He's a stud.
He's a stud. Come
Well,
on.
it's like what's his name, Bale, when he did The Machinist, and he was like down to 140 or something. or
143.
And then he did Batman. He did Batman Begins, and they were like, you gotta bring it down because he was too jacked.
He's
as
my
Batman.
favorite actor.
Dude,
Christian
he's like
Bale?
impossible.
Yeah, Christian Bale for me, like Daniel Day-Lewis and Christian Bale and,
Dude.
and Meryl Streep for me,
Same.
I just go, oh well, that is the hardest. That's top of the line. You see most actors, you go on a given day. I think I could find that space, and then you see a guy like that, and you go, I don't know.
Impossible.
I feel like Christian Bale as Batman was a little shitty. Like, I feel like he's too talented for it.
Maybe.
And he talks like this.
No, but let me tell you why
And
he
I'm
did
Christian
that.
Bale, and I'm such a good fucking actor.
Sometimes a guy like that isn't good for those kind of roles.
But I
That's
thought
what
he
I'm
was
saying.
perfect for that
I
role.
think they
'cause I used to
cast
do a
him
stand-up
wrong.
bit about that because he had to be a guy that looked believably rich. Like, because you always the best thing that somebody ever said about Batman was you cast Bruce Wayne. The costume does all the thing for Batman. It doesn't matter. It's like why Michael Keaton was so good.
Has built-in muscles,
because he
yeah.
was so charming. And
he
you
was so
cast
good.
Bruce Wayne, you don't need to cast the Batman.
Yeah.
And so
That's a good point.
So it's like but with Christian Bale, he seemed like a rich kid in the beginning of that who needed to go get his ass handed to him in order to come back. And then you believe that he would put you believe that he had those demons.
Yeah.
And so I actually really
he
like
was
when
definitely a darker.
Yeah, and when you think about him going like, listen, I had only saved Rachel. Like, people know what
I
Bruce
saw
Wayne
Rachel
sounds
yesterday
like.
at Juiced Up, by the way. I was like, oh shit, that's Rachel from Dark Knight. Yeah. I kept staring at her eating my falafel.
It's so weird in LA. Like I was at Airline yesterday, and Miley Cyrus and her boyfriend, that tall guy,
Liam Hemsworth.
yeah, and they're both walking around shopping, and she had her little hair. She's a cutie pie, by the way.
Adorable.
She's adorable. Yeah.
You know who I saw at the Air One the other day, by the way? I saw Omarion.
Oh, I love from Love and Hip Hop.
And let me tell you something about it. You know how I knew it was Omarion? Because he had a T-shirt on that said Omarion. And I wanted to go up to him and just be like, "Do you, boo? Do you, boo?
Stay woke.
He had this.
Stay woke.
I'm like, y'all look crispy, bro. And he had the dreads and everything. And I'm like, is that Omarion? And then he turned and he had it just said it on the back of his shirt.
Was he
like
small?
he was his own jersey? No, it was like a T-shirt. Yeah, he was small. Small dude.
Yeah.
But like, but big. I mean, like big confidence. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
To wear that,
As
I
a
love that.
rapper. Yeah, and he's on Love and Hip Hop. He's
I feel like a lot of those guys are probably not that way, but they have to behave that way. Like you're cast.
it's their
as that role.
culture. You know, a lot, it's their
well,
culture.
Somebody
they
said that
really,
like he goes, it's an act. Somebody was like I can't remember who it was, but they're like, oh man, are you this way? And the guy the rapper was like, are you serious, man? He goes, I know. And he goes, dude, it's a character that I play.
That's what they said about The Game. My friend who produced his album, not my friend, the guy I talked to for a long
friend.
time.
Your
my
friend's a
friend.
rap producer
My
now?
buddy, yeah, my buddy, yeah.
you might know him as Sent. 50 Cent. I didn't say his first name.
Well, he had worked on it, and he's I can't remember what he does, but he's like the musical coordinator or some shit. And I said, "What's The Game like?" Because I had actually bought his first album that I thought was really good, you know. And I don't know hip hop, you know. They always make fun of me because I have no idea, but I appreciated his music. But he's this rough guy with the tattoos and all that. But he said, "Dude, he's such a straight up artist. Like that's all that's what he cares about. It's not about the tough." It's almost like he has to take on.
We
it
had
or
on
something.
2 Chainz
He's
on
got
the
to get
show.
on him, though. We know that.
Yeah.
We had 2 Chainz on, and he was like, that guy's just smart. You know what I mean? Like he's a good businessman.
Yeah.
He's got a great number one of the friendliest guys you're gonna meet, and just like a down to earth, cool. Like nothing big, you know what I'm saying? Like
Snoop Dogg is the big mystery to me. I mean, he has been able to stay relevant for so long, but the last time he did something musical was how long ago?
people love him, man. People just.
but he did
love
like that
Snoop
song with
Dogg.
Katy
He's like
Perry.
America's Pimp.
Then he became Snoop Lion.
Snoop Lion. He has a big show. It's almost like a podcast talk show on YouTube.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
You know who else did that? Was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Didn't they become lions in one of the
They
seasons?
did. Yeah. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Snoop?
But
I
it
stopped
worked for
watching
Snoop.
that.
He became Snoop Lion?
He became Snoop Lion.
It was like
for a
Rasta
second.
Farian for a second, but then Snoop, the reason why he's so relevant all the time is he was always ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Like he was super into weed. He was the first guy who kind of came out with his own line of weed, but it was like real classy. It's like these white labels with gold leaves on it.
How is it not called classy weed?
I know, right?
That
So,
should have been the name.
he's just a good businessman.
He is a good businessman. He's
But
really,
and
that's
people
what it is.
love him.
More than anything, I always think like when you see somebody who's an entertainer, it's always who's the best businessman. I think like because the art, like you have a lot of collaborations, and obviously there are people who've become super famous in all walks of life. You know, there's like a guy, athletes from everybody, entertainers, whatever. But it's people who are the good business people that have the long career.
Well, Jay-Z is
because
the
I
guy.
think it's about what to say no to. Because how many opportunities do you have as if you're a celebrity? How many people want to collab with you? And how many people want to meet you for lunch and dinner? The best ones are the guys who say no.
yeah, Ryan
Locke's
Lockheed's not doing a debt
interesting.
commercial like debt.com or something.
That makes sense. It's the people who could know what to say no to.
It's 100% because you can
you only
see,
say yes to one thing, once a year. you
I've
know?
had the privilege to be in conversations with in rooms where people have had like that type of thing where just things are being thrown at them. Not me. I'm getting coffee, and
I'm serving.
You're just
coffee.
there listening.
I'm just there. Yeah, I'm just there pretending to clean windows.
Yeah.
They're like, we're in a windowless room, sir.
Yeah.
But you hear people really go like the smart ones. You know, I had the privilege of being with Jamie on something where we were just, you know, I was hanging out, and he's so smart.
Yeah.
And like to have him like talk it out loud. And like, here's the thing. The great thing about really smart people is they'll ask questions that people think like people go, I don't want to ask like a stupid question, but Jamie just is asking all the questions, all of them. Because he wants the most amount of information, and nothing sounds stupid coming out of his mouth. Like I hear him say something and I go, man, I wouldn't have asked that question. And that's why he's where that's one of the reasons that he's where he is right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if we do it like that, does it need to be like that? And you're like, yeah, That was the right question to ask right there. And it's just like you just get to listen
He's
in.
also really good at creating imagery. Like
Incredible.
he was describing this movie that he wants to do, and he was describing it to us, and I was like, you know what the trailer should be? Just you
describing
the fucking
Dude,
movie. I would watch it.
He described to me a movie that he's trying to get made right now that I heard him in. I tried to pitch it to, we just had a little thing. He did me this unbelievable. Number one, he's the nicest person I've met in LA.
Yeah.
He did me the biggest solid like a week ago. I did my stand-up special that I shot in my high school. It's called my back to school special.
Sick.
And I called him up, and we've been friends for a while, and I was like, hey man, I pitched him an idea. I'm like, could you help me shoot this intro? He's like, yeah, just tell me when you want me to do it.
God damn.
And I was like, what? And I was like, can we have a crew come to your house? And he goes, yeah, man, just yeah, let's do it Wednesday. You ready Wednesday? I'm like, yeah. And so we did there, and he pitched the movie, like, because I was trying to tell this amazing, like, he has this amazing idea for a movie. He had pitched it so many times, I never got tired of hearing it. Like, so I was trying to pitch it before he got there to the crew, and I was just like, this movie is literally getting, it's losing funding in my speech right now. Like, I'm not selling it. And then he came in and like told the movie, and everyone was
Who
just
the
like,
fuck's not on board with
dude,
that movie?
everyone is like pulling
anything
out
he wants to
checkbooks.
do. Yes,
Dude,
Of
it's
course.
so fucking
Name
funny.
one thing that he's done, especially as of late, that's not just completely gold.
Anything,
he
even the
touches.
movies that he does, which like that they're not, because he did those like romantic comedies, before, like those were hits. Like he even had hit romantic comedies successful.
He pitched Jeremy.
Sitcom.
Yeah, he pitched
Jamie
Jeremy.
Foxx show.
Huge.
Yeah, he pitched Jeremy Ray Donovan. Basically, he came in and he pitched him this show about a guy who's a fixer who fixes things. Dude, and I was listening to the way I was like, well, if there's anything I can do, I will be the PA on that show. It's just the way he fucking described it. And I thought to myself, yeah, you're the smartest guy in the room. That's why you are who you are. Because I've been trying to write forever. I didn't come up with a fucking idea. And then they did Ray Donovan, which is, I guess, I don't know, it's fucking somebody else had another idea. But he's just.
But you know that
he can sell
his
a show
brain is in the
room.
right place.
He can sell whatever you want in the room.
Yeah.
He comes in and he's so prepared and he can sell the entire thing in the room.
Well,
he knows
had-
exactly what to say and what not to say.
You know what? That's what it is. Because I'll tell you, we had an idea for After Party that was going to be like the new and living color. And After Party is hip. Like that's where everybody wants to be. People go like, did you go to the Drake show? But yeah, like a lot of people went to the Drake show, but who went to the After Party? And so he had this concept, which we shot for Fox, that it was like this loft in Manhattan. And it was like a rooftop loft made on a soundstage. And it was just a bunch of people hanging out, telling jokes. The way that like dudes hang out at a party and tell jokes. And that was the home base for the show. And then it would do cutaway to sketches. And I was like, damn, that seems so current.
Yeah.
And it seems so hip. And you could do Instagram jokes in there.
Yeah.
You could do characters. You could do anything that like people pitch at a party. Because everybody always says like you have the funniest ideas at a party. And then when you try to make shows out of them, there's something lost in translation.
Yeah.
So just do the party.
Yeah.
And that was his idea.
And they didn't do it.
It was like for
It's-
whatever
that-
reason
that's
it
the
didn't
kind of
work.
thing-
Concept I feel like would be tough though to execute. I
Yeah.
feel like so many moving pieces
Yeah.
to get a foundation.
Well, it would go from party to party. So it would go from conversation within the party, and that really worked. And like I felt like
Yeah,
you'd
that
have
sounded
people
confusing
sitting
at
there, like, and then it would cut away. But it felt like a community where it felt very intimate.
Yeah.
Where I feel like a lot of the sketches, because once you put them, when you're on YouTube, it feels intimate, and then when you put it on TV, there feels
Yeah,
like a huge
distance.
distance.
That's it. That's always the problem. To solve that bridge is always difficult.
Yeah.
You know what? VH1's, well, it's a little different because kind of like talk show-ish, but it's an after-show party for love and hip hop, and it's like they're all hanging out and they're having drinks and people in the back having drinks and they're like, damn girl, you slept with him, and like it's like those open,
Right.
not scripted conversations. It's a little tough to pull off.
I did a thing for TJ Miller where he had this idea where we would go up and do our stand-up, and as we were doing our stand-up, it would cut away to a sketch of the stand-up story, and then it would be my voice over the characters, and it was pretty
I've seen
funny.
that before.
It was
That's
pretty
great,
funny, but they
yeah.
didn't have enough money to make it right.
That's the thing.
people are doing that now though.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
like
new one.
There's some Netflix guys who are killing doing that. Yeah.
It's hard. You need to do that. That's the thing, is those things cost real money.
Yeah.
Because once you say, well, we're not going to have it look like Donald Trump. Like even if the wig budget's not good,
Right.
It's like you have to have it like there has to be such contrast between the stand up because it's just a person in a microphone.
It's got to be high concept, dude.
Yeah.
You need really good makeup and stuff. Otherwise, you get taken out of it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's like
Becomes
it's
a
almost like
distraction.
if I will
It looks
also
amateur.
Yeah, I'm not
that's the
gonna-
thing. If
yeah, I
you're
don't
on
wanna
stage
watch
just
it.
doing Donald Trump, if we're gonna do a cutaway, it needs to look exactly the way people are envisioning it. in
Well,
their
you know,
heads.
he and I were talking about how in life, and he's doing stand up. Listen, man, he's doing an amazing job, and he knows that we were talking about. Regardless, he's got a lot of fans. He gets up there, he can find his way, he can tell a story. You just can't help but love the guy, and then he's funny. You know, Brendan's just naturally funny, right? And he loves doing it. But the truth is, he's also actually competing with everybody. Like, it's not like they're going to give Brendan a pass. It's like,
no.
you're competing. You want to get up in front on stage? Although all that audience may like him, but he's still competing with me, with you, with Chris D'Elia, with guys who've been doing it a long time.
Well, last night was Theo Von, Sam Tripoli.
Beasts.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Beast.
Dude, we're in the back.
Fucking
We're in the back,
beasts.
and I'm going over in my head. I'm pacing, and Theo sits down. Well, you know, Theo walks
so
in with
funny.
his shirt off. I go, "Why the fuck's your shirt off?" He goes, "Expensive shirt, dog. Don't want to sweat it out. What's up, man?" And he goes, "Getting paid these days." Then puts it on. And goes, "Brr." And then he sits down. And he's looking at me. He goes, "You're nervous, huh?" I went, "Yeah, man, a little nervous. I'm not used to it like you." He goes, "All good, baby. All good. Go up there. And I'm going to go on after you and crush it." Hey, and so I go up and I was like, "Hey, will you listen for me and give me notes?" He's like, "Yeah, for sure. I fucking love Theo for this." So then
funny.
I go up, do my thing, and I come back and he's just saying, you know, the nicest stuff. And then as I'm I'm talking to my friends, I'm about to walk out, and I hear him get up there. And he just starts, I don't know if you heard it, Evan, just starts clowning on me going, "God damn, that's a good looking guy." Hey, seriously though, I wouldn't tell anyone, but I'd fuck Brendan Schaub. He goes back, I don't know what his skin's made of, but he goes, he was back there putting conditioner on and shit on his hair. He's like, he was just going off 10 minutes on how he wanted to fuck me. Yeah. Then he went into a story about some cocaine party.
Oh my God, he's
and then
so
I'm talking with the CA guys and manager, and we're in a serious conversation. He pulls up in his car. "Hey, motherfucker, I'll see you later." Then just fucking takes off.
He is such a fucking
He's the
character.
best, man.
He told us on this podcast. He goes, "Well, you know, I tried to make money for a while. I got hooked up with these guys, and we were selling animals, you know, after the show." And I said, "Animals?" He goes, "You know, like guinea pigs and things like that." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "You know, sometimes you've been rolling all night, hanging out. You might want a warm animal for your hands."
That's right. You just
Might
want
want
a warm animal. And I
A
went,
warm animal for your hands. You got to do something with your hands.
He goes,
It was guinea
He
pigs.
goes, "So I was hustling them guinea pigs in New Orleans." I went, "Yeah, no, that's a smart business plan." Dude, that guy's
God.
fucking
Did you sell it to? Did you
hilarious.
sell it to Apple and make a fortune on that app?
He went up there and crushed that crowd last night. I was
Dude,
like, Jesus
I
Christ.
love him. Like I
too. He's so
I
talented.
watch that motherfucker crush it, and he'll come off and go, "They're all right." All right, they were exploding.
What room were you in?
Belly.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that. I just played that room this weekend. That's a great room.
Dude, how about
They're right
how
there.
about first time I was ever at the Comedy Store doing 12 minutes stand up was in the main room, sold out with this guy.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you something. That I actually had that happen because what happened with me was people assume that I've been doing stand up forever because they think that that's the route that you do stand up and then you get a TV show.
Yeah.
So when I would be like, they're like, "Oh, we didn't even know you did stand up." So I remember I had to do a show one time with like Eliza and Rogan, and I think Dame was on it.
Jesus.
And it was sold out, and like Rogan. Like I think maybe Rogan was obviously the main guy they were putting on it.
sure, yeah.
So dude, it was like standing room only, and I remember being like, "Oh my god, this is like it's like you just."
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tread water. You know, like I think I had a very good set, but it's like one of those things where you're
No, it's lifting weights.
Yeah.
The Comedy Store. He got off and he goes, "That was tough. I don't know. It was good, but not our best." I go, "Hey, motherfucker, that was the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
You just played to the whole sold out crowd." Yeah, it's the hardest room in the world.
Yeah.
For 1,000 reasons. The acoustics, it's dark. You're trying shit. If you can do well in the Comedy Store, you can do well almost anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
The original room.
100%. The OR. Yeah, I remember.
God.
I did. I used to do this bit about that I don't do anymore about how Tom Hanks should have been in the movie Lincoln, because
Do him, please, as Lincoln.
I do. I go. You know what I love about Tom Hanks? I go. He's been in more wars than any other American in the history of our country.
He's so many
But
wars.
why
So
was he
true.
not in the Civil War in Lincoln? I was like that was weird to me. And I go, and there was no. It didn't. By the way, there were no black people in the movie Lincoln. None. It was like black people were the Where's Waldo of the movie Lincoln. And I was like, if you look at the movie 12 Years a Slave, that movie looked like the outtakes of Lincoln. Like the abuse, but Steven Spielberg got so much white guilt from doing Amistad. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to show any. Could you imagine like Steven Spielberg being like, hey, you know what? I just don't think you're whipping him hard enough. Can we just the real whipping's not coming through. Can you hand me that whip? Let me show you how to do it. He's like,
get a bigger bull whip.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well, I don't know your name, but could you just turn around for a second? Whip. And then I was like, you could have Tom Hanks in the movie, and then he could, you could put him in blackface. So then you would you could whip him all you want, and then it would be fine because he's not really. And then I would have Tom Hanks singing, being like.
Wow. It is powerful hot out here. What does a brother have to do to get a mint julep? Swing low, sweet chariot, humming more to carry me home.
It's ridiculous. And I remember
Dude, that has to be a sketch.
I did that at the Comedy Store.
God damn.
And I remember
did they love it?
So I would say half the room thought it was great.
Yeah.
And the other half of the room was like they stopped. They kept listening because they were wondering what they were gonna do. I think they genuinely
this politically correct environment that we live in, it has a good side to it, but it also has a bad side. It's very anti-comedy.
Do you get any hecklers with your comedy? I feel like you might.
I have had some hecklers, and when I go on the road,
on politics and those.
Well, people yell out my character name because I don't talk about Two Broke Girls at all, and it's almost always like about minute 40, and it's always a drunk female in her mid-20s.
Yep.
Almost, like I can tell you the point in the show. Like it's, and then I have to be like, I have to like very politely. Now, you can't put anybody in their place because at this point,
no, she's in a bachelorette party probably.
She's so drunk.
Yeah.
It doesn't, And so I remember there was one show that I did in Chicago where this woman's phone rang, not at me, at the guy who was middling for me.
That's your hometown, correct?
In my hometown, and she answered the phone. And I remember, like, I got into it with her husband and her, and they wound up leaving the show
on stage.
And I said, and I wasn't sure if the audience was on my side. And then I did like the Darth Vader, like the Emperor March, like dun, 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 dun. And the whole audience like clapped because they wanted them to leave just as bad as I did.
Yeah.
And the guy like started threatening me as he was walking out of the room. And I was like, dude, I'll be here after the show. I'll be the guy that looks like me.
Yeah,
if you want to talk to me, like I'll be right
the guy
here.
that looks like me.
I'll be the guy that looks like me. I am right here, dude. And I said in front of everybody, I was like, don't tell me that these people didn't pay and these aren't hardworking people. I'm from here. These are the hardest. I love these people so much. They all worked just as hard as you did to make the money to come for you don't own that right.
Right.
Did you see what happened with Amy Schumer? No. I think she was in Sweden and sold out fucking theater.
Oh, yeah, crazy.
Arena, huge, right? She's up there and she's doing a bit and this guy goes, "Show us your tits." And then you see her just like kind of glance. She keeps going. He goes, "Show us your fucking tits." And then she goes, "All right, I got to address this. Are you serious right now?" And just thrashes this dude in front of everyone. And she goes, "One more time, man. I know you paid tickets to see this show. One more time. I'm giving you one. Don't make me come back here. One more time." Keeps going. He goes, "Would love to see your tits." And then she goes, "All right, can we take care of this?" And she goes, "You know what? No, fucking sit there. Let's do this. Whoever wants this guy to stay, clap." And the crowd's dead silent. She goes, "Whoever wants this fucking moron to leave, let me hear it." And everyone's standing up clapping. She goes, "There you go, you idiot." And security grabs him. He's like, "I was going to leave anyway." She's like, "I'm sure." And just wrecks this
I'm
dude.
sure.
Wow. God
I mean,
bless.
he's front row. What kind of
Well, he's
tool?
obviously a fucking tool.
He's just one of those
tool.
like straight tools.
Yeah.
I don't associate, and I don't have any friends. Hopefully, I don't have any Instagram followers that would actually say that to a fucking professional comedian or anyone of that matter.
Yeah.
But can you imagine?
Yeah.
Wasn't drunk at all either.
Yeah.
Dead sober.
I told you the one time I was in a car. I was with Artie Lang and his buddies, and I'm in the front, and I hear right in my ear, this beautiful girl walks by, and I hear right in my ear, and his buddy goes, all day with you, all day with that ass, all day. And I was like, and it was so loud. I was like, oh, Jesus. Like, it was so aggressive. And I got a sense of what it was like to be her on the receiving end of this giant Italian guy with his face just going, all day with you in that ass.
What does he think's gonna happen? She's like, all day?
It was
oh
aggressive
shit.
as shit.
Would you love to go out to eat?
Right.
Because that's how this is gonna go down.
Yeah, would you love to go out to eat,
Would
dad
you,
ass?
You want to?
Oh my
would you
God.
love to fuck me? Because
yeah, what the? Where is this
until
going?
you fucking cat called me out of this Prius with your 4 fucking goons,
Right.
I was just
It's
gonna go to the
scary.
market.
It's fucking scary.
It's
I was like,
weird.
I go sorry.
But where
I was
the guys?
Yeah.
What in what world is a guy like, dude? I'm gonna yell out of the car.
It's mob mentality, I think. I
But
think
also, I think
they
that
get
men
into a
don't
group.
think about it.
No.
I think that they're just like they're dogs that like
They're trying to show each other that they like the girl. Maybe it's a camaraderie thing. It's less about her. It's more about, hey, watch how straight I am. I want to fuck you. You know. It's
But,
like, all right.
to me, whenever there's a hot,
and then he goes back to a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I proved myself.
Yeah,
That was great.
I proved.
I proved it.
but whenever there's a hot girl in the room, if she's a fucking 10,
Right.
I have eyes. I'm a fucking 30-year-old male. I see her. I don't need you to point anything out.
Right,
It's
right,
like if a Ferrari goes by, trust me. I hear the fucking engine. I see the bright red fucking
Yeah.
car. I don't need you to go, bro, look at the ass on this one. Yes, very aware. I have 2 fucking eyeballs.
Yeah.
You know, it's so
and
weird
that's
to
fine
me.
if you want to.
I've never done that in my life. Oh shit, check out that chick. No shit.
But this is, like I can deal with. Look at her. She's very hot. I can deal with that. But some guys get like. Sometimes you'll have a friend who'll be like, "Bro, look at it. You can see it. Look at her pussy. You can see it."
Oh, dude, I know
And they
you-
get
I
so
know.
clinical.
No, or
detail. And you're like,
I like this one. You know what, dude or her?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Would love to hear it. What would you do? No, I don't. What would you do to that young woman?
A guy that you know who I won't mention, but he's such a fucking sharp F. You know what a sharp F is? There's a symphony's playing and somebody comes in with a French horn. Like he just says stuff. It's embarrassing.
I know this guy.
Yeah, I'll tell you. This girl, this beautiful woman walks in and he's a grown man and he goes like this. Like this is so awkward. And he goes, I would suck her tits, bro. I'd suck her tits. I was like, well, man, all right. I guess you suck her tits.
Cool, man.
Congratulations.
We're at the opera.
I looked at him, I go, we're at the opera.
We're at the opera, bro.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah.
Dude, that is so. Yeah, well, that's the thing is everybody. We all have that one friend.
Yeah.
That one guy who.
Who's a rapist?
No, he wants to make. You're right. He wants to make sure everyone knows he's not gay in the least bit.
Yeah.
Or that
wants
he.
to make
Well, that's
sure
the thing that
because he's actually gay.
Captain Obvious.
Or I think that he there's something missing in his life and like he doesn't know how to get it. And
Yeah.
so he's trying to bring that out of other people.
Well, what Rogan would say is he's secretly worried that dicks are delicious. That's Rogan's
that's hilarious.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's so anti-gay because he's secretly worried that dicks are just so delicious.
Right. Well, but
It's so
yeah,
funny.
and then there's also there's that, and there's also though there's sometimes a guy can be a great guy, but you'll see a real dark side of him.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see him behave in a certain way in a group, and you go, if there were no laws and you could get away with it, you might rape that girl.
Well,
Right? That gets raped.
We know a guy, not my friend. I
Yeah.
don't associate with him anymore after I
Yeah.
found this out. He went out to dinner with one of my friends, and they had some drinks, and they're just, she's taken. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but they're acquaintances, and they go out to dinner, and after, he just got uber aggressive, overstepped his boundaries. I found this out. I'm like, can't be a friend anymore. I won't even. He'll text me still. I don't associate with him. If you're that dude, can't do it, man.
Well, because you
use a scumbag.
It's a dark side, man. You're like, it's one thing to be like pervy and be, kind of a jackass. It's another when, you get that thing where you don't like women. That's
And why don't you like him? Because you never got the hot chick, so you fucking lash out at him. Jesus
It's dangerous.
Christ, man. Super dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's go to some current events. Speaking of dangerous, with Evan the Cub, the beard.
Evan got the arms going too today.
You decided to roll the sleeve up. Sir, I like
them
how
up.
you rolled your sleeves up. I'm
I'm
not mad
ready
at
to go.
that.
I'm not
ready
mad.
to
I
go,
like the
bro.
way you dress. I could never get away with that,
Oh, I
but you put
appreciate
it
it, bro.
together.
Dude, thank you. It's comfortable.
Where did you grow up?
Chicago.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town IL, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Where
is
are you from?
Irish. New York, but grew up overseas.
Yeah.
Chicago's got great theater.
Yes.
Great.
All right. Speaking of theater, movies, all that good stuff. First current event. Let's talk about the Jumanji reboot that's coming out. So they finally they released the cast, which is it's The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and this girl who everybody they don't have her in this picture. I'll pull the picture up in a second. But everybody's kind of freaking out about her outfit because she's obviously like, she's a woman. You know, she's a good looking girl. So she's like showing a little bit of skin. And everybody thinks the outfits are sexist in comparison now. More shit to get outraged about.
Why reboot a fucking Robin Williams classic?
Why reboot a perfect film?
Why reboot a board game?
For reals.
I mean,
where the fuck is Monopoly if we're gonna do this?
They were talking about doing like Seth Rogan had a thing where he had been commissioned to write a Sorry movie based off the game. So like they were trying to do it because, you know, like Clue, obviously, like there are certain, you know, games or whatever, but that they were trying to figure out, oh, what else can we do?
Mousetrap.
That's
a movie.
My whole thing with
That's
how
a movie.
sensitive
I'm into
we are.
it.
No, it's a movie.
My whole thing about how sensitive we are is Rogan was talking yesterday about how that we always say that's the worst. They're the worst. The way they objectify women is the worst. And Rogan was like, well, there was a time when there was this group of people that would skin you alive. They take your skin off with an oyster shell. That's the worst. Let's just get a sense of how bad.
So
things
people are mad
how
that she's dressed
bad
with
they're not.
a midriff and the guys are in fucking safari gear.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, the Twitter feminists came out hard on The Rock.
Of course they did.
On The Rock, you think he's the fucking?
You can't do anything right.
You think he's the
enemy.
The wardrobe. You think he's the stylist?
Yeah.
You think he has any call on what she wears?
He's the enemy, of course. But The Rock is the reason that women aren't moving ahead. Because, by the way, they are moving ahead. By the way, they're in positions of power like they never have been before.
Are healthy people upset that Jack Black has a gut there? Like, where do you stop the? Where do you draw the line at?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that actually kind of reminds me of this other story that came out about like the whole vegetarian and like vegan community getting all up in arms because In-N-Out Burger doesn't offer vegan options. Like,
awesome.
Yeah, no shit. Like, I wouldn't walk into a vegan restaurant and ask them for a steak.
Yeah,
like,
that's ridiculous.
My thing about people who complain this way, the lunatic fringe that are that vocal and point their guns at these little incidents is that what they end up doing is not moving hearts and minds, and they don't galvanize the troops. What they do is they take reasonable people like us and they turn us off. And now you kind of lose me. I'm not going to help you in your cause. There are issues to push forward. I'm all for equality and all that. But when I have these tyrants, because they're being tyrants about it. Matt LeBlanc, who said, well, I saw her naked, and she's naked, so I got to catch up on Game of Thrones because I want to see her Khaleesi. Because
Yeah.
Oh my God, he objectifies women. He's disgusting. I mean, he got all this like heat.
The actor sure as fuck seems fine with it.
I was gonna say, would it be better if he said, "Well, no, I don't watch that because I don't approve of women showing their breasts. I'm a Puritan." Well, what's better? What are we talking about? I mean, it gets very confusing. So if you're gonna complain, it seems you're complaining.
But also,
about
people who complain like that usually don't have shit going on.
Correct.
It's like
correct.
That I'll spend my energy on that because I have nothing better to do.
Yes.
Successful people and usually people who have a lot of shit going on, they don't have time for that. What?
Right.
I don't give a
They're
fuck.
going to work. They're doing.
I don't give a fuck if all four of them were naked. I could care less. Doesn't affect me in any way. Doesn't really affect women either. Have you seen Laura Croft? Have you seen what the fuck she wears? Or any of the X-Men? Are we complaining about Storm with her titties out?
Correct. How about Wonder Woman? She's Wonder Woman. She's kind of naked.
Kind of. She has a breastplate.
She does have a breastplate.
And undies.
Yeah.
And boots.
How about the dick on Batman in the costume? No one complains about that.
Well,
Do you think Christian Bale's dick is that big? Sure as fuck isn't.
The Batcock?
The bad guy.
That's his most secret weapon.
What else you gotta have?
Fictional or otherwise, though, what you get full brain on reboot of a movie based off a board game. What are you picking?
Oh, Hungry Hippos, but it's a horror.
Fantastic call. Love the genre choice too.
So stupid.
That's gonna be tough
Hungry
to beat.
Hippos, but it's a horror.
That's gonna be tough to beat.
They're terrifying hippos.
Cannibal hippos?
But also, at the beginning, it's gonna be based off a true story because
It should
hippos
say-
kill more people than any other animal.
It
So
should
it's
say based off a true
board.
board game.
Yes, based off a true story and a board game. It's Hungry Hippos, starring Brian Callen.
Yeah. I want to be a hungry hippo.
No, you're not the fucking hippo.
Sorry.
You're the guy that the hippos are trying to eat. No, you're the badass with like a fucking arrow killing these.
I don't know if the arrows would- I don't know if arrows would kill
You're the
him.
Chris Pratt character.
Yes, like Lost World.
Chris Pratt's a little better looking and taller than I am.
But you're the that's
And
we
younger.
cast you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got the gig.
Fuck.
We're gonna put some meat on.
I'm
you.
gonna be the
put some meat
voice
on
of the bird that cleans their mouth.
Yes.
You know how those like little birds land in their mouth?
Yeah,
Like, what's
who's
that
that?
bird? He's gonna eat him. I'm like, no, he's not. The bird's like clean.
Is that the voice?
Yeah, he's like, I need some food.
Dude,
All right, so you're the bird, you're the star, and I'm the crocodile in the water, where I clean up the scraps.
So what's your voice? My voice is I'm a hero, so I gotta.
Yeah.
I'm the brains of the operation. The hippos are kind of, we're hippos, stupid. And I kind of organize them. I'm like the offensive
So what's your
coordinator.
voice? What's the
your
voice you do?
bro? He's not very good at voices.
Yeah, I don't do impressions.
Dude, come on, try
It'd
it.
probably be just like this.
Bro,
Just like-
Come on, Trey,
bro.
give us a voice. Step out of your boundaries.
Can I be an Asian crocodile?
No,
Oh, my hippos!
No, because that's-
something.
that's super fucking
Why?
offensive.
Wow.
Are there crocodiles in Asia?
That's
he said gooks.
That's literally yeah, but that's Donald Trump.
I thought we were in the
No
circle of trust.
No, sir, we're not. You can't.
I'm an
do
Asian crocodile.
A stereotypical offensive Asian impression that was around in the '60s.
And number
God
one,
damn it.
hold on. To be clear, it doesn't mean that Asian crocodiles speak Chinese.
I was gonna say.
That's
Mine speaks English. He just has a little Chinese twang.
So did he learn?
Oh,
English?
licorice.
Well, they don't eat licorice. That's so offensive.
that's how I say make a wish.
right, well, just do
before
it.
I kill the guys. Before I send the hippos on them, I go, oh, make a wish.
You're saying licorice.
No, I'm saying make a wish.
Wow,
I want to apologize.
This
to you,
is
Jonathan.
sponsored by the Klan. Apparently,
It sure
that's the fun. We're being funded by
Brought to you-
burning crosses everywhere.
Brought to you by white supremacy, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, it's my fucking movie.
My movie.
It's my movie.
Donald
Hungry,
Trump is
Hungry
funding
Hippos.
this movie. He's Donald Trump's Kickstarter for Hungry Hungry
yes,
Hippos. the
exactly.
movie.
What else you got,
Starring
Ev?
Donald Trump as the crocodile.
The crocodile.
All right, next one we got.
We're gonna eat. Let me just say something. We're gonna eat, and we're gonna eat big.
That's the tagline.
I'll eat
We're gonna
everybody.
eat. I'll eat
whoever.
everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
A
eat
child.
A child.
You name it. Millions and millions of people.
Angelina Jolie and fucking Brad Pitt finally
Divorce.
Filed for divorce. Couple key facts here. One, Brad Pitt was banging a gangload of Russian hookers.
I didn't know that.
Good for him. Two,
You're sure?
yeah, that's.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the
what
story?
article said. Yeah, it's.
It is Brad
He's being
Pitt.
accused. So
way,
Angelina
did he
hired a
have to pay
PI.
them?
She hired a PI because she thought something sketchy might be
I
going
did
on.
hear that.
She was right. So I don't know if it's like outright confirmed by his people or anything, but so allegedly, we'll stick with that. Allegedly, Russian hookers, and he might have been banging Marion Cotillard.
Who's that?
She was in.
She won for La
Inception.
Vie en Rose. She
She
won
what?
the Academy Award for La Vie en Rose.
She's, oh,
What
I,
else? She's hot.
Gorgeous.
fucking love her.
She's a little.
Can you bring
nice
her
looking
up,
person.
Ev?
Yeah.
I love her.
She's so
Wait,
talented.
he was banging her
Love
and
her.
then Russian whores? What is
It was his co-star. So
They
Brad
should
Pitt
put-
was.
He should have
What
a
is this
shrine.
guy, Brad
He should have
Pitt?
a shrine. Yeah, who's this guy, Brad Pitt? He should have a shrine.
He is Brad Pitt.
He should have a shrine in fucking straight
Yeah.
downtown Hollywood.
yeah. There
Oh, yeah,
She was in Inception.
Yeah, she's pretty for sure.
fucking love
Midnight
her.
in Paris.
No, and how about her? And of La Vie en Rose. Was,
She's like
La Vie en Rose is on with Edith Piaf
See,
is
to me,
incredible.
she's not sexy. She's
What?
She's beautiful. She's not sexy. Angelina
You can be
Jolie
both.
drips. You really can't. Angelina Jolie drips sexiness. She doesn't. to
She
me.
kills me. She's my favorite.
Hold on, go up for 1 second. That looks like Brad Pitt is playing Robert Redford in a biopic.
Yeah, he does like every bit of
Does it?
He's
sexy.
playing a LensCrafter salesman in Nantucket.
That's exactly what she looks like.
Hired an undercover agent to fall into this whorehouse. And you don't think the undercover agent was getting his dick sucked in there too? And then
Hey.
snitched on him?
I don't know if that's true, but
If I was a PI.
Man,
Why-
we,
why
we
would
are
Brad
making
Pitt-
outlandish claims right
well,
now.
when you say hooker, I mean, does Brad Pitt need to pay for it? I would
yeah,
imagine
excuse
he'd be
me.
like, you know,
I bet they were high class escorts.
there you go.
And he probably wasn't even paying for it.
You didn't start the air quotes just until you said escort.
Yeah.
You did high class escort.
Yes, high class.
So, but the high class was totally true.
She strikes Angelina Jolie, and I'm a fan, but strikes me as very difficult to be married to, and strikes me as probably a little crazy too.
But do you know her? It's all speculation, isn't it? We have no idea.
It's not
No,
so much
I don't know.
speculation because
She could be a great person. I don't like
she
doing
is
this.
a great person.
I don't like doing
She is
this.
a great person. She gives something like a quarter of her money to charity.
She also
starts these
adopted,
things.
like, 19
She's an
kids.
awesome person, and not to mention the fact that she's prodigiously talented as an actress.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It just
Yeah.
all I'm saying is that people like that, as amazing as they are, can probably be very difficult to live with.
How is her?
I don't
her
know.
children
You're
look
right.
like
It's all
look like
speculation.
a reality
That's like
show that
someone
never
saying
happened
Jamie
called
Foxx
Babies
is a
in
bad
the
guy.
UN.
It's not so much speculation on my part, but I know some people.
Oh, fuck off. You're fucking just pulling stuff.
no, I know.
Oh, fuck you.
I know people who-
No, this is all speculation.
No, I'm sorry, sir. It's not. I know people that have been intimate with her and been with her and I had long conversations with them. 2 people, not 1, but 2. And that starts back in, let me think, 2001, I think, was the first time I had a conversation about that. So, no, I've had real conversations. And
Johnny Lee Miller.
Yep, Johnny Lee Miller.
And Billy Bob Thornton.
I've had
Billy Bob Thornton, her ex.
I won't say,
it's always Johnny Lee
I
Miller.
won't mention names, but I have had real conversations where they have, But then again, you're right.
I don't believe
at the
it.
same time.
I think it's tough.
At the same time, just because I've had
That's
conversations.
like someone saying, Callan's a dick,
You're right.
man. How
You're
well do you
right.
know him?
You're
I
right.
don't, but I have a friend
I agree.
who used to date him
Well, here's
20
the thing,
years
I would say
ago,
this.
and he was so tough
I
to
would
be
say
around.
this, that anybody, you could come up with
I agree.
anything about anybody. Because
I agree.
I heard something about somebody who is like a super A-list guy that I I'm still a fan of, huge fan. And somebody said, oh, I met him this one time and he was like kind of a dick.
Yeah,
and then my
means
best
nothing.
friend played poker with him and he was like, dude, he was the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody is
Human
everything.
beings are different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like we're all
On
everything.
what day did you catch that person? I'm talking.
Exactly.
And I was talking to people who if you've been in a relationship with somebody, don't take their word for it. There are 2 sides to the story. So you're
100%.
You're right. You're right.
100%.
I stand correct.
But also with marriage, it's tough too. How long you've been together? They're both A-list celebrities.
Yes.
He's doing his thing. She's doing his thing. They have fucking 17 kids.
never see each
Half
other,
of them are
probably.
adopted.
Yeah.
So is it difficult? I'm sure it is.
Right.
Does it mean she's difficult? No. It might mean together they're difficult.
She does a lot of good in the world. That's
She
for damn
does. She's
sure.
awesome. She's awesome.
Or at least she fucking
the
tries.
movies that she makes, I think they're great.
She's a formidable human being. I've always thought she was an incredible actress. She's impossibly beautiful, and
yeah.
she does a
she's
shitload for
gorgeous.
charity.
And I love though their pool of children are the multicultural show that network comedies have been waiting
She
for.
adopted from Cambodia, from Mali, all different places. But more importantly, like at least the people like, oh, they're getting divorced. They made that relationship work for how many years? That's an
12 years.
accomplishment. That's a
But
big deal in Hollywood.
But you don't know how long it's been like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like who knows? You know how it goes.
Yeah.
The other thing is yeah, I don't. It's
I agree with
tough,
you.
man.
I agree.
How funny is it? How crazy is the world we live in where there's someone out there sick of fucking Angelina Jolie?
I know.
I said there's no hope for any of us.
That's what I think about.
Jennifer Aniston with her?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the irony of the whole
Did you see?
situation.
I'm
Did
not
you,
even surprised that he's doing
did you
it.
see
I
the
like that he
post?
gets away with it all.
Did you see the post? We still love him. Did you see? I love him even more. Did you see the post? The New York Post.
Yeah,
they showed
this
pictures of,
morning.
Jennifer Aniston laughing.
That was the cover of the post
Let's
this
get
morning.
classy. New York Post.
Whiz. Gee whiz. Yeah, he's kind of Teflon, isn't he? Like any other guy back that cad, and we're all like Russian hookers. Well, he's Johnny Depp. He's
Ocean 13.
Brad Pitt,
I'm
yeah.
in. It's
Yeah,
weird, right?
It's fine.
It's like George Clooney. He's just he was this relentless player for like 60 fucking years. We're just like, whatever.
Great sense of
Isn't it
humor.
weird?
People love him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jennifer
yeah.
Aniston, she gets cheated on left and right, can't have kids. Everyone's like, whatever. Just dicks.
Well, we make decisions up. That was like the joke that I came up with Tom Hanks about is like that we forgive people that we want to forgive.
Yeah.
And then we don't forgive people we don't want to forgive.
Yeah.
And that's like, and these are the types of stories where everyone's going to take a side.
Well, I think all of us kind of also realize life. It's very hard when you're Brad Pitt to say no to
The
women,
world.
to women.
When you
to
say the
everybody.
world's his oyster, nah, bitch. Literally.
Yeah.
Any room he goes into, you can go, I want to stick my dick in your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
but you
it's
know what?
happening.
I'll tell you
Yes.
this, though. Tom Hanks, I would say, has different but same. Where Tom Hanks is beloved. I mean, he's not the sex
Different
symbol.
energy, though, yeah.
Different energy. But you know what? And Tom Hanks met Rita Wilson when he was married. But now, like, I don't know what happened with in terms of the divorce of that previous marriage. But, we just don't look at Tom Hanks. Like, the fact that this came out, I don't think people are like, oh, my God. People are like, there's a lot of humor that's going around about with, like, the GIFs online or the GIFs online or whatever about Jennifer Aniston. But, it's just that, not that people expect it from him, but they're not surprised.
Well, yeah, and if
Not
it
at
was
all,
Tom Hanks, you're right. So much of what makes Tom Hanks appealing is that we trust him, we love
the
him.
most
He's like your
Trusted.
dad.
He's
He's
your
like,
dad.
no, you know what? He's like
He
your
is.
dad's good friend
America's
that you
dad.
can rely
That you can call on if you need to bury
he's
a
there
body.
all
Yeah.
the time, man.
And Brad Pitt plays a host of different guys. He's sexy. He's this man.
He's dangerous.
Yeah, so
like
in a
you
way,
expect it out of him. Like he's an
yeah,
animal.
yeah,
It's Brad Pitt.
yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Hanks does. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly. It was like the Bill Cosby thing where I was like, like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about? He's a rapist.
But that's the thing. Let me tell you this about like this. Somebody was saying this about like there's other celebrities out there who have been accused of many things that we've forgiven very quickly, and then Bill Cosby, just for most people,
Well, he's a
nope.
rapist. There's a difference. Like, it's one
Totally.
thing to be a philanderer.
100% agree with you.
If you're a
100%.
philanderer, it's one thing. When you're a rapist, you know.
Yeah, but Bill Cosby, he did terrible things to so many women. We get that. But there's been celebrities who have killed people, and we forgive them.
Like who?
Ray Lewis.
Well, you're talking about athletes. Yeah, Ray Lewis.
deal?
Yeah, same
Sorta.
thing. But Caitlyn Jenner.
Matthew Broderick. Didn't he?
Well, that's a good- that's a
Caitlyn
good-
Jenner
that's a good
ran
point.
in his Hummer, her Hummer, ran in the back of an older agent, like, killed her. It's all good. She got an SB.
Never heard about it.
Two months
You
later,
haven't heard about
got an
it.
SB. No, they paid the family off. It's all good. What's Ray J's? Brandy killed a guy. Did no time.
Brandy
We
did?
still buy her records. It's all good.
How'd she go?
I didn't see him. Ran some poor dude over, or like ran to the car. It's all good. We're like, it's all good, man.
See, 12 celebrities who have killed people, courtesy of BuzzFeed. We got Laura Bush, who I didn't do this, ran a stop sign, crashed into a car, killed someone. I don't know who that guy is. Don King killed someone?
Oh,
Don
yeah.
killed 2 different
Oh,
guys.
yeah, in jail.
As the leader of a
One guy out
gambling
window.
ring.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. What else?
Don
he
King's
got?
no
He shot
joke.
one and stomped another guy to death. Holy
Good
shit.
God.
God damn.
OJ,
Matthew Broderick.
Howard Stern asked him out, he goes, well, you know, pressures of the ghetto life.
Jesus Christ. Matthew Broderick. What car accidents?
Yeah,
Most of
in
them.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. And there you go, Brandy.
That's
Brandy.
tough for
What's
them,
it say?
though.
Brandy car crash?
Hit the car in front of her by failing to brake in time and killed the driver in front of her.
Nothing.
Was never charged.
No
Took full
time.
responsibility, but was never charged with any crime.
But you never, sometimes these when
I get it. It's
accidents
like
happen, it's an
It
accident,
is an accident,
right?
yeah.
It's one of those terrible
I'm just
things.
saying, you still took someone's life. Like Caitlyn Jenner took someone's life, and we're just like, it's all good, man.
Right.
Didn't mean to.
What about Keith Moon? That was drama.
Keith Moon?
Yeah.
He ran over his chauffeur and bodyguard outside a pub in England while fleeing from skinheads.
Fuck.
Also not charged.
Jesus.
Sid Vicious, Jason Williams.
Who did Jason Williams kill?
Was giving a tour of his house and was playing with a shotgun
Oh,
that
yeah,
you remember
discharged
that.
and killed
That
his
was
limo
super
driver.
famous.
That was a big thing. Yeah. But he's in prison. He did prison.
No, yeah, he actually
Yeah,
Right.
currently in prison. That was
Shot a guy with a
at the time of
shotgun.
this article's writing.
By accident, huh?
And Ted Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he
Ted
looks
Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a
Chappaquiddick.
killer.
TK.
What else you
Your
got?
boy
Ev?
TK. Next one up, there's a lot of shit going on around UFC 205 right now. So it was rumored to be Conor Alvarez, and it was rumored that it was pretty much a done deal. They just needed to sign it for whatever reason. Like both guys were totally on board. It was a done deal. And as of last night, it looks like, again, rumored to have been a money issue, but Eddie Alvarez is no longer fighting Conor McGregor. Conor got pulled out. And Eddie has been given Khabib Nurmagomedov, which is
Oh, Jesus.
a significantly worse matchup for
Yeah,
him.
so from what I hear is Eddie Alvarez was complaining to the UFC brass that he wanted more money to fight Conor McGregor. He wanted pay-per-view points. He wanted a certain amount of money. And the UFC, Joe Silva was going out on a shield. He went, you want to do what? Oh, no. The one of the biggest fight cards of all time, Madison Square Garden. First time UFC's ever been in New York. And we're allowing you to fight Conor McGregor as the main event, but you want more money? Nah, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pull Conor off, give him probably a bigger fight. And then here's Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Good God.
Terrible matchup.
Good God.
Oh, and also those pay-per-view points, not happening really, because neither one of them are a draw anymore.
Oh,
Enjoy that.
my Lord.
Here you go.
You're going to lose your belt.
Yeah, here's a terrible matchup. But this is just looking at the whole picture.
Why would Eddie do that?
But just looking at the whole picture, it sucks for Conor too. Yeah. Okay, Conor, now you're gonna fight. Now you want that 155 belt. Now you gotta get through Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Nightmare.
Who's gonna beat that guy? He beats himself. Unless he gets injured, no one's beating that guy.
Nobody's beating Khabib.
I don't see it happening.
Right.
Not even close. And for Conor, it's the worst matchup at 55. I think Conor, it's a tough fight, but I can see him beating Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah.
Khabib, he's gonna be your champ. It's very short-sighted by the UFC.
Right.
Pay Eddie more money. What do you guys fucking care? Madison Square Garden, how much money? Again, how much money do you need? Pay the guy more money, unless he's asking for like 10 million, some ridiculous number. But
Give Conor the belt. It'd be great to see him have the 55 and the 45 belt, right?
Short-sighted.
Right.
It's the guy wants more money. Fuck him. Put in Khabib. Okay, but let's just think about this. There's going to be a ripple effect. You put Khabib in, most likely Khabib's going to destroy Eddie Alvarez. Still a tough fight, but most likely he wins that. Then what? Where's Conor go? Back to 45? Tough weight class for him. 55, he has to fight Khabib now, his toughest matchup.
Disaster.
What are you going to do? Now there's only super fights for him. And he's your biggest draw.
So what
It's
are they
money.
doing?
Again, you got to question just how smart they are.
Yeah.
You got to look at the business plan, and someone just needs to go, let's take egos out of this. Let's
Right.
take our egos out of it. How much money does Eddie want? Well, how much money would we make if Conor's on the card compared to
Give
Khabib?
him a piece. Give Eddie a
And then
piece.
how much would we make in fucking the next fight with Conor?
What do you think they're offering Eddie? Is there any word on what? Probably,
No idea.
Probably something insulting. And he's the champion.
I mean,
In a
I don't
way
know,
you
Brendan,
have-
you might know a little bit more about this. Do you get an automatic contract renegotiation if you become champ?
I don't know what they're doing these days, but it used to be when he became champ, you get this certain bonus.
There's like a tier that's just like reserved.
Yeah, if
like
you
a
become,
flat rate.
but like when I signed my 6-fight deal, they're like, if Brendan becomes champ, we'll renegotiate. So a lot of them do renegotiate once they become champ. I know they're like, I'm champ now, what's up? But I know you can't get pay-per-view points unless, like I remember Ben Henderson didn't get pay-per-view points until he was like 3-time defending champ. It depends where you're at on the scale. Does that make sense? So Eddie can't go, I need pay-per-view points. I'm like, well, no, you're not a draw. We're not giving you anything. Like Jose Aldo, and you have to get a certain amount of pay-per-view buys till you get points. I think it's over 300 they get points. Khabib versus Eddie is not a 300 buy pay-per-view. That's just not a draw.
Damn, that doesn't make
For the
any
MMA
sense.
purists, it's great before.
First of all, I want to see Conor fight Eddie. I don't want to see Conor get suplexed by Khabib Nurmagomedov. You think they'll even let him fight him?
Yeah, for sure. But he can't fight at 70 anymore. He can't fight at 45. You'd have to fight him.
Yeah. So Connor tweeted out just 2 words today. Just said, "Beg me." So but I don't know. Is that in response to? Is that directed at Alvarez, or is that directed to the UFC?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And is it? I don't know.
Is it official that Eddie's fighting Khabib?
Nothing signed. Literally, the only thing that's set for 205 is T Wood Wonderboy.
But the other thing,
That's it. Everything else is
Dana White
just
tweeted
paper.
because someone tweeted that Dana was like, "Yo, is Conor and Eddie for sure?" And he put, "No, it's Khabib." That's what Dana tweeted.
Yeah.
And so the rumor mill is that Eddie won pay-per-view points. They yanked Conor and put Khabib in for this reason.
Wow.
Now maybe Conor's being difficult in negotiations for Madison Square Garden, something like that. And if he tweets out "beg me," it goes more towards that lane. But New York's looking like caca, though. Madison
Big
Square
card-
Garden's looking like shit.
Big card to only have one fight signed off on officially.
And that
at
would
this
be the
point.
main event of the.
That would have been the main event, but you have Woodley versus Wonderboy. Again, not over 300,000 buys, not even close.
That's amazing.
Khabib, if you could have Wonderboy, Woodley, you have Khabib, Eddie Alvarez, not a draw, not a pay-per-view. It's a huge. It'd be a for the MMA purists. I love the matchups. That's fantastic. Sure. I will 100% buy it, and I'm so crunked for it. As far as mainstream media and getting buys, you got a shit card. Son.
You need Conor on that card.
You need Conor on that card.
Who else do you need on the card?
You need Weidman. He's from New York.
You need Weidman.
And I've also heard even Weidman, because the way they're treating Al Quinta is thinking about being like, I'm not fighting until you treat us all these guys right. I'm not fighting.
Amazing.
We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts around 205. Who the hell knows what's going to happen?
Do you mind if I drain this beaker?
Not at all, sir.
We're gonna piss.
All right, that's it for current events. Bri, you got some dropping knowledge for us?
Got a little drop in knowledge, and it's from the New York Times. What in the world? 10 questions on global quirks. Evan, why don't you read them off, and we'll guess what they are.
All right, so we are going to start with, all right, all over Mexico City are green rectangles and circles, as small as a window fan or as large as a trampoline, each with 4 white arrows directed toward a white dot in the center. These indicate A, areas where public displays of affection are allowed, B, landing areas for drones, C, areas where there are no restrictions on political speech, or D, areas to gather after an earthquake.
I'm going to go with E, all of the above. I'm going to go
Dick.
Just
I hate
everything.
guys who do that.
just bro.
It's all of
Dude,
it.
you can't. There's no E, bro. Come on.
There's
man.
Jonathan No Rules Kite.
I
He's
don't
in the
know, dude.
building.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna go the drones.
I'm gonna go with drones too.
Drones.
I like drones too, even though that's a little recent. Let's do it. Yeah, we are wrong.
It's for
It's areas
earthquakes.
to gather after an earthquake.
Yeah. How the fuck?
So
Drones.
these
You
people
guys-
just
Sorry,
standing in
hold
a
on,
fucking
hold
circle.
on. You didn't let me finish. It's for people drones.
Ah.
To gather-
Yes.
You had a pause. You had
Yeah,
a Obama
I had
pause. An Obama pause.
What
a stupid ass thing.
drone
It
of
is.
people.
All right. So go ahead. This is the next one.
All right, next one. The underrated humor of Kenyans is often expressed in euphemisms. The Swahili phrase kitu kidogo literally means a little something, but euphemistically it refers to a small meal between lunch and dinner, a bribe or kickback, a sexual partner outside marriage, or a second job.
I have
I'm gonna go bribe or kickback.
my Kenyan is a little off. I'll go with sexual partner outside marriage, also known as a side piece in the Kenyan culture.
There you go. I would have chosen that too.
I'm going with sexual partner as well.
Yeah. But guess what? It's a bribe or a kickback. Jonathan Kite. Jonathan Kite. Good
I was
job.
born in Kenya, and I should have made that clear.
I did not know that. I
Well,
figured
you had
you
an
were.
advantage, sir.
Yeah, well,
Oh, this
All
is
right,
great.
Which one of these do you want, Bri? Your pick.
For a fee, postal workers in Finland, in addition to delivering the mail, will A, mow your lawn, B, tutor your children in basic math and reading skills, C, let you read your neighbor's magazines, D, join in playing charades, Finland's national game.
I'm gonna go with let you read your neighbor's magazines.
Yeah, what he said.
You're losing your interest in this
Yeah.
quiz.
Oh, what he said.
It's mow your lawn.
Mother.
Keep going down.
This is ridiculous.
Try being a listener in your car right now.
Yeah, it might be a little tough. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Oh, this is good. You know, the food that sustained Inca armies, which is still eaten in the Andes, is made from fermented llama milk mixed with peanuts, cornmeal flavored with alpaca, saliva, and coca leaves, potatoes repeatedly frozen, thawed, and stomped on, or cucumber, tomato, carob, squash, all native to the Andes.
How did you choose that one over the household gadgets that will kill you in South Korea?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's way better.
Microwave, blender, portable CD player, or electric fan.
In South Korea, the people believe that one of those objects can kill you.
They believe one of them can kill you?
Or they will. Oh,
people
they
believe
it.
this household gadget can kill you.
Microwave.
Blender,
Microwave.
portable
for sure.
CD player, fan.
Microwave.
I said microwave. It's actually electric
going
fan.
blender.
It's electric fan because the idea is that oxygen gets sucked out of the room.
Oh, wow.
I don't believe that North Koreans feel that way. By the way, I don't
South
think that,
Koreans.
I don't think. I mean, South Koreans believe that.
Or North Koreans will buy that
South
shit.
Koreans are some of the most technologically advanced people in the world. Like,
Yeah.
North
North Koreans believe that all those things will kill you.
Yes.
That they-
Whatever
Why
They don't have any of them in the
yeah.
house. Yeah.
and they will if they fall from a high enough ledge.
I think I read somewhere this week that North Korea's version of the internet has 28 websites total.
Sick.
Yeah, but South
Yep,
Korea.
there
has-
is.
We need to
28.
get Fighter and the Kid in there.
yeah, well,
Make sure you got fighterandthekid.com in there.
that's it.
Boom. There you go, man.
There's the drop of
Multiple
knowledge for ya.
choice. Let's go some fan questions.
Fan questions. Fan questions.
All right. So these are going to be for all of you guys. Let's pull these up real quick. First fan question we got.
Kite, what's your
Pull up
nationality?
faster.
My mother is
There we
Scandinavian,
go.
Norwegian, and Danish, and my father is, well, modern day we're Romanian and Georgian, but in the time it was like Prussia.
You know who else was? You know what famous man was Georgian? Not a very nice guy.
No, who?
Not a nice guy.
Old school?
Old school. Probably the meanest man to ever live in some ways. Well,
Vlad the Impaler.
no,
No.
he was from
Going super
Georgia.
old.
A real
Georgia.
motherfucker. A lot of blood on his hands. Killed a whole bunch of people.
Genghis Khan?
Nope.
No.
But he is
Mongolian.
just, if there's a place in hell, this guy is just in the middle of it. I mean,
Donald Trump?
no, but that's very good. I mean, a lot of blood.
Who?
Georgia. Oh, well, here's a hint. Georgia is essentially used to be part of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
It's in the south of Russia.
Oh, is it
Stalin?
Stalin.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stalin.
Boom. There we go. First fan question. Let's start with one that the fans have been asking about all the time. Where the fuck is Brendan's money?
It's a legit.
Where's his goddamn 12 grand?
I just give up on it, guys.
Now listen, man. The
bit's
it's funny.
over, bro.
I was gonna write you that check, and the only thing is, it's been in my car, and we just haven't gotten to it because I haven't seen you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Nah, I've never seen that money. Can't bet you anymore, man.
Hey,
Gig's
listen.
up.
Hey, bro. You and I
Gig's
talked
up.
about this.
Yeah, we did. It's
Hey,
over.
Be quiet.
Nah, it's over.
Listen, I don't need you selling me down the river here. Okay.
We talked about this.
God damn it.
Oh, God. Next question.
I'm paying Brendan. Fuck.
All right.
You motherfucker. You motherfucker. We're gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a chance to double that up.
No, I'm never betting you again.
Hey.
Till I get paid. What else you got? Alf?
Hey, man, I'll pay you. I'm gonna write you the check.
All right.
All right.
Forgot to
We'll
bring my
post
check.
on Instagram.
Yeah, we will.
How much do you think the fact that you already had a following and were already somebody before starting a podcast played into the success of the podcast? And do you think someone who hasn't made a name for themselves yet could start a successful show?
I don't think it had anything to do with anything. I think it's just I've been doing stand up a long time and comedy and performing a long time. Brendan's a
I
really
don't
good
think either one of
storyteller.
us were that famous.
Yeah.
I mean,
it had nothing to do with it. Actually.
I think it did a little bit.
little
Like,
bit.
people were intrigued to hear an actual opinion on the UFC.
A real fighter, a comedian, got together.
It was a good dynamic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like...
It's our dynamic.
It wasn't like Conor McGregor and fucking Joe Rogan did a podcast.
I would listen to that one.
Yeah, right? Because then
When is that one
Then
coming
you're off
out?
to a fan base. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So-
we just it's the way we get along and what we're really friends, and I think and we're. Yeah.
So, but to answer his question, he says, does someone without a name, can they get a big podcast? Oh, yeah, 100%.
100%.
Guys do it all the time. All the
Yeah.
time. I mean, sure, it's going to help if you have, if you're an analyst on ESPN or Fox, something like that, or you're an expert in
You
some...
need to bring something to the table.
Yes.
That
Why are we gonna
isn't-
listen?
Right. That isn't
Yeah.
being brought. Because right now, everyone and their mother has a podcast, but the ones that are successful are like uber successful in comparison to the ones that aren't.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, you're right. There's no like between. There's no
Yeah,
middle class
exactly.
of podcasting.
No.
You're either doing the damn thing, making great money, or you're doing it out of your mom's basement with your
Yeah.
best friend. You both just like kind of bullshit your way through it. You know?
Yeah.
The podcasting's at an interesting time right now.
Consistency.
Next one. This is a good one. Hey guys, I'm a young dude in college. Any tips to stop being a pussy and get girls? Thanks, fam.
Were you a ladies man? And
I did okay. I did okay in college. I probably did much better when I came out here.
Where'd
I
you
was
go
so
to-
obsessed.
where'd you go to college?
University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana. And there was the theater department there got in the way of a lot of my relationships because it's a conservatory type program. You had to audition to get into it.
intense.
It was super intense.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm such a driven human being that way that like when I set my mind on something, it's like I just go for it 100%. And so I think that hurt me. Like I didn't really, like I would go out to the bars and stuff, but I didn't really have a lot of time.
that's a good thing.
Not making it was not an option, right?
Dude,
You would die. if you didn't.
100%. I don't do anything else well.
Yeah.
My math skills are in the shitter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's like, but for me, it's like I knew that this is something that I'd always wanted to do, and so I figured out like being a podcast, like what was I bringing to the table that nobody else was bringing to the table, and so that's what I didn't even do impressions until Jamie Foxx had that audition. Nothing.
That's amazing.
I was like, well, they're doing a new In Living Color. I'm like, well, they're probably only going to take one white guy. They're like, my manager's like, well, how many impressions do you do? And I was like, one less than zero.
Yeah.
So he goes, well, try them
That's
out.
amazing.
And so I would sit in front of a TV and my laptop. I remember there's like pacing marks on my wooden floor, just listening to people that I'm like, well, I could get this guy. And my cousin, who's like one of my best friends in the world, we used to live together. I'd run outside and be like, does this sound like James Gandolfini? Like I never saw The Sopranos. And then I'd run in and I would like listen. And then I'd run out while he was recording his music. He's a professional rock star, but he does a lot of writing and
You
stuff for
say
music
rock
too.
star, yeah.
Well, he's a
Professional.
traveling musician rock star.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a beast of a human being.
Yeah.
But he would be like working on music in the home. He had this huge studio, and I would like run in and be like, "Does this sound like it?" And that's what I would do. So there was no failure. And so at college, that's how.
Do you do music? Do you sing and stuff?
I sing. Yeah, he and I would love to. We'd love to just like have a bottle of wine and jam out.
A jam session.
Fucking best.
Wish I could get in on that,
Dude,
but I can't sing or
with
play.
you, me, and
instrument.
Piven.
You can dance, bro.
I could dance.
Bro.
You get some dancing.
Yeah.
You shake your fucking ass.
That money maker.
You shake your ass while I go
I'm in. I'm in.
All day.
all day with
All
you.
day. All day
All
with
day
you.
with that
Brandon, I'll
ass.
stay with this.
All day with that ass.
See, that would
It's both
encourage
of
me
us
to
in the
keep
car?
dancing.
Yep.
That would encourage me.
I know it, baby.
John, oil him up a little bit more. Oil Big Boy up a little more.
Come on, Pink Dye. Where are you? We need more oil.
Fucking get that patina going. Get a patina to his skin.
I'm down with that, man. We didn't help this young man at all get girls. Just be confident, man, and also be normal. Don't be a psycho. Forget the pickup lines. But
Get good at something.
But also, if that's all you're focused on, you're not going to make it in anything.
Get
in
good
life.
at something.
People
Get good
I
at
know,
something.
people I know that are out chasing girls nonstop. You're competing with guys like him, like me. We're not out chasing girls.
Well, that's, you know what, can
We're
I tell you
out-
something?
We're working on our
Because
craft.
that's what a girl's interested in. A guy who's trying to get girls.
yeah, because that's attractive. The guy who's not doing anything at night and just chasing girls.
Girls like a man who's really good at something, so build a skill. I don't care if it's playing the guitar, learn something and get really good at it, and you will find answers in that. You'll find life lessons that you can apply
You'll
to
find
other
some
things.
titties in yourself.
Well, yes,
In
you'll
your
find
well,
that too.
that,
But if you're really good at, if you can play the piano or the guitar really well in a year, you'll find a girl who likes you. You can have a hoof and a horn. If you can play music, there's a woman out there.
but don't be that acoustic guy on the quad.
No, don't do that. Don't bring your guitar to parties. You're my best friend.
guy.
That's the normal part.
Do not be the acoustic
There's
guy on the quad.
nothing worse.
Dude, no
Okay,
one
we
wants
get
you.
it. Ever.
No
We
one.
don't want you.
Ever.
It's so true, man.
We get it. Yeah, closing time. We all know. Yeah.
Closing time.
I'm like, it's not closing time. It's noon on a Thursday.
It is.
Oh, you're under a tree.
Oh, God.
Jesus
It's the
Christ.
same guy. The same guy who shows up at a
backpack.
fair with a parrot.
I was just gonna
or a
say you're the
boa
same guy at a
constrictor.
fair who's a lute player. Even like back in the 1600s, we're like, we getteth it. We getteth it.
We get it. We get it.
What else you got, Adam?
It's nooneth.
Yeah, it's nooneth and it thirsteth.
All right. Next one. This is a good one.
God.
Let's talk Halloween costumes. You guys dressing up? What will your kids be? When is too old to dress up? This guy's got a shitload of questions about Halloween.
Whoa.
Is it okay to dress?
How do I get girls?
Is it okay to dress with my kids when we go trick or treating? And any memorable costumes from your past?
Hey, bro, I don't fucking
I know.
know the answer to these
Seriously.
questions.
I'll tell you right now.
I'm exhausted.
Well, I'll tell you right. Oh yeah, I'll help. There's no limits to Halloween. Anything, especially with kids. You're fucking right. You better dress up. Make an event for your kid. There's no limits. You're never too old to dress up.
Yeah.
As long as you have kids. Now, if it's you
Or,
and your grown ass men, buddies,
Yeah.
There's
don't
no
dress
limits
up.
if you have kids or you're a serial killer.
Yes.
Because those people are just going to dress up.
And clowns are
gonna-
never okay in any situation.
Yeah.
Even for a kid, clowns are
They're
okay.
horrifying.
No, kids are. I was a clown as a little kid. At like 5 years old, my grandmother made me a little clown costume.
Times were different, my
and
man.
they
You
were
killed other kids.
They were. What's I
Times
murdered.
were different.
You're a murderer.
I was. That's when I did best with the ladies. I murdered the ladies. Literally.
I'll tell you what.
5-year-old clown.
Every Halloween, I stick with the French robot, just like it was when I was 6. Just like the picture
about
I
the
posted
most
when I was
random-
6.
that's the most
The French
random
robot, and I threw croissants at kids. All right, my mom hated me.
That
for it.
was your hazing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was that was your vandalism.
I'm going
that
to dress up
croissant.
like Jonathan Kite
Oh, dude, what an honor.
from Two Broke
You know,
Girls.
that's how we knew we had made it, because people started making their own costumes of the two girls and me and Sophie.
Oh, my God.
With Jennifer Coolidge and I. That was like, when people posted those, I remember we were sharing them with such delight.
Oh, that's
To be like, oh my God, like people want, it was awesome. Yeah, couples would go as Jennifer and I, and then always blonde and brunette, or they'd find a wig and the two girls would go
That's
with the two
awesome.
girls. And they'd make the costume.
It's kind of a lame costume, though, all due respect. Like,
kinda
you're
basic,
dressing up
right?
like your favorite sitcom.
Well,
it's
let me
kinda
just say
cool.
this. Let me just say this. If I could rip this off and throw it on the ground and walk the fuck out of here after that
Right?
comment, I would.
I feel like
But
it's
I
cool.
respect you.
John, I apologize.
I feel like
But
it's
I
kind of
respect
cool.
you.
John, your voice is getting very high right now. I just feel, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you this year, I'm going to go. So Matt Moy, who plays, who's one of my favorite people on planet Earth, and he plays Han Lee on the show. He's a little guy. We're going to go as Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.
Ooh, I like that creative.
Well, would you go? I like when people go as a team.
Me
I
too.
like that.
I was a salt shaker. My buddy in college was the pepper shaker.
I thought you had to say shaker because if you had said salt and pepper, we'd be like, you guys went as two black girls.
Yeah, no, we're black.
That's awesome.
And we put on asses. That's not going to go over well. I was a salt shaker. He was a pepper shaker.
That's pretty good.
It was fun.
Because I went to I told you I went to the Halloween costume in LA, and the guy shows up. Everybody's dressed in cool outfits, and this guy's in a naked suit with a huge dick and yarn for pubic hair, and he was really big anyway. And he walks around, and I go, who are you? He goes, I'm fucking this guy.
That's hilarious.
It's like the best costume I've ever seen.
Wow.
In LA, it's tough though because there's always someone who's like, yeah, my best friend's the makeup artist on Walking Dead. It's like, all right, yeah, you fucking went all out, man. What were you, 8-9 hours in the chair?
An Emmy award-winning makeup.
I bought this at fucking Halloween 2016 store. Like, I look like an asshole now.
I go to a costume
serious?
party every year where my friend hosts this amazing party. Well, this will be the second year, but I hope to continue to be friends with her. And they have a costume contest, and it is like. Oh, yeah. It is a reality show.
Oh, in L.A.?
No. It's in New Orleans.
Oh, God, still.
Yeah, but it is sick. I mean, it's the stuff that I saw. The coolest costume I ever saw in my life was that last year. This makeup artist came as this doll, as a full life-size porcelain doll, holding a doll that was the same, and each of their heads was upside down.
Wow.
And his head, he was able to paint it with the hair. I mean, it was like one of those things where you needed to like take a second to really drink this guy in.
I appreciate people like that.
Dude, it was
we have
amazing.
A buddy, you know who goes balls deep on Halloween?
Hold on.
Our buddy Cody Donovan.
Really?
We go to this part in Denver. We used to go to this party every year. I forget what it's called, but we go to this Halloween party. My brother dressed up as a penguin, beat up another guy because he was a penguin. We were drinking, and he wanted to be the only penguin at the party.
So he went as an alcoholic.
Yeah, he went as an alcoholic dressed as a penguin. Yeah, just ran into a guy who was dressed as a penguin, started talking shit to him.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I love
He beat up another penguin because he wanted to be the only
Richard
penguin.
Wait a minute, penguins are friends though.
My brother wasn't feeling it.
Not loner wolf penguin.
Not loner wolf.
Not the Wolverine of
Staked
penguins.
him out, slapped the guy.
Loner wolf penguin.
Anyways, but so Cody, our buddy Cody, him and his girl at the time, he was Frankenstein, and he painted his entire self green. Had this vintage costume on, had the mask.
Jeez.
His girl went as the bride, and we got over there. Shit, I probably got there like 8 or 9 o'clock. He's been doing it all fucking day, and he was exhausted. Like, he was like, dude, I don't even know if I can go to the party. But he looked so real. I was like, well, let's just get a couple drinks and figure it out.
Let's just get some shots, put them on Instagram.
He was so exhausted.
him.
Yeah, but he was the butcher from fucking Gangs of New York.
Oh yeah, Bill the Butcher. I always said I would want to.
That's a good costume.
So let me tell you this. I said back then, I go, because I grew the beard out for the show. I said the first year where we're not on, I'm going to shave this part. I'll wait till Halloween, and then I'll do Bill the Butcher with the mustache.
That's a good call.
I forget Cody's Instagram, but Cody Donovan, his Bill the Butcher.
That's really
fucking
good.
So legit.
I love that character.
Me too.
Legit.
Get yourself a piece of meat on the way out.
Yeah, you know she's not really my mother. Dude, that movie is so...
Oh my God, he's good.
I love it when he goes, what's your name? And Leonardo DiCaprio goes, Amsterdam. He goes, Amsterdam, I'm New York.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so good.
5 fingers make a fist.
Oh, wait, he goes,
They come
orange.
together, they make a fist.
Dude,
Fuck, he was so good in that. Oh my God.
And you know what though? He didn't win because Adrian Brody from The Pianist won. And it was like such a huge, it was monumental where it's like, I felt like, to me, Gangs of New York, the first 2/3 of that is one of the best movies ever made. But
Drags on a little bit.
The end, it when the elephant runs across the screen, even the characters in the movie are kind of going, "What the fuck?" Like, like they and
the flaw though, the fundamental flaw of that movie was that you cared more about Daniel Day-Lewis than you did about
Leo.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you didn't care so much about him getting revenge.
You were drawn
well, his
to
magnetism.
Yeah, you were
you
drawn to
can't
him.
have him play anything other than the lead because his talent is just so magnetic.
It's a vacuum.
He stayed in that character the entire.
I know he did. He used to lift, and he would call Liam Neeson Priest Valen.
Yes,
and they built that whole in Italy. They built the whole community there. It's such a rich. My cousin and I always talk about this film.
They shot it in Italy?
They shot it in Italy. I've probably seen the movie, I'm not kidding you, 50 times. My friends and I had this joke where it's like if they're not physically looking at me, they're assuming I'm watching Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
I've seen it that many times. And at one time they text me like, "You want to come out?" And I just took a screenshot of what I was doing, and they all text me back because it was just me watching him wrapped in the American flag.
Yes.
Going, how do I they act fearsome acts? So anyway, but the thing is, like with him, he was so much more interesting, and his group, like John C. Reilly, all those other guys, they were so interesting than like Leo's like young, scrappy little rascals.
It overshadows it dramatically. Like you don't even think like Leo. It's like whatever.
Also, you know,
And he's
also
He's great.
Daniel Day-Lewis fought his dad fair and square, and now he's come back to get revenge. And it's like, well, you know, you haven't earned your place in this group, and now you're trying to avenge your father. But I actually am more sympathetic to the guy who cut his own eye out because he didn't.
He goes, "This was a great man, the only man I ever killed worth remembering."
And that was his dad.
Yeah.
And cut his own eye out because I can't
Who
remember.
looked away.
He looked away.
And I love it when he taps it with the knife. He just taps his eye because he's like he's unsettled. Dude, well, there's so many choices in the beginning when you first see him. He takes his foot and he like brushes the snow the way that horses do so they can feel how it's going to feel to walk on it. They're like, it's an instinctual thing. And he does the same. I'm like, the choices that he makes in that movie are perfect.
He's a fucking genius.
What a beast.
Anyway.
Last question, Ev.
So we hope we answer that about Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm not sure how many of them were about DDL.
Good luck getting that accomplished. It's a
Oh
beast.
my God. I love it.
You gotta grow out a mustache, obviously, and you're gonna have to rip your eye out,
Yeah, and rip your eye out.
You have to.
and then you have to fuck Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz, sorry.
Cameron Diaz.
And Carmen Diaz.
And Carmen now.
They're twins.
The drag
Carmen
queen, the
and-
drag queen version of Cameron Diaz.
That's right.
Carmen Diaz is unbelievable.
Huge dick in the front.
You should see him in Something About Mary.
Just push his dick to the side. Hold his balls up. Sorry.
No, I wish there'd just been silence for 10 seconds.
I was gonna do that.
Let's try it again.
Well,
Just
no,
hold his
it's-
balls.
It's past.
Just hold his balls up.
They can't do that. You know this, man.
I know, but I like to.
What else you got,
I
Ed?
like to beat a dead horse.
All right, who in the room has ever had a pumpkin spice latte, and what's your most basic bitch guilty pleasure?
Dude, bitches love avocado toast, lavender ice cream, and fucking pumpkin spice lattes. I don't fuck with any of it.
I don't either.
I love avocado toast. I'm having some right now.
You look like you'd like avocado toast.
I don't like it. I love it. I've never had
right,
a pumpkin.
sir. I don't like it.
Let me,
I love
let me
it.
correct you, sir. I don't. I've never had a pumpkin spice latte in my life. I'm not a Starbucks kind of guy.
I'm not either.
I like that they give their employees insurance, and I believe in their which I think is a big thing because Papa John, if you're listening,
This is for you, Papa
this
John.
is for you, Papa.
Hope
John.
you're listening, Papa. I'm coming for your
I
ass.
met that
for
guy.
you with a
I met that guy one
breadstick.
time in Utah.
Dude, I like Starbucks. It gets a bad rap, but I
No, I
fucking
just
enjoy
I
Starbucks.
live by a place. I like local coffee. I tend to support the little guy. I really like that, and we're living out here. I think that we are lucky enough to afford that. There's not a Walmart in my neighborhood, which I don't like
I
anyway.
hear you.
This is for you, Walmart. And
Walmart and Papa John's.
what happened with
And another thing.
I go bad on all these corporations.
And another thing.
Nike
Nike.
sponsors. This is for you, Nike.
We're insane, Nike.
Dude, you're so
Whereabouts do you
intense.
live, though?
Las
I live
Feliz.
like in the heart of Hollywood, like right by the Grove.
Don't you like, I just
and what's
chose
your
where you
What's
live.
my address? Let me give you my address and my gate code. What the fuck?
Yeah, Papa John whoops your ass.
Yeah,
What's your
I'm
coffee
coming
shop?
to you, Papa John. I'll bring it to you.
What's your coffee shop?
There's this one called Andante. It's run by this guy who's it's Japanese
Named
pour
Andante?
over style, and he's half Korean, half Japanese. And when I went to Tokyo a couple years ago, it's the best cup of coffee I've ever had in my life. And I went to Italy the same summer, and I was just trying to hit up the Axis of Evil tour guides, and went to Germany 6 months later. And so the thing was like the coffee
get
was
put in the
so
sex slave industry?
fucking good.
Really?
In Japan.
Where you're at now, though, is
No,
the same?
it's amazing. And right down the street is this place called Blue Bottle, which I believe is from San
Oh, yeah, we
Francisco.
know
Two bottles off Abbott Kenny.
Yeah.
And there's there's one. Let me tell you this: if you have a heavy, I do 4 shots.
Look at my face.
Listen, you just you know what you're doing? You're screwing in a light bulb. I
Yeah.
can't tell what you're.
No,
I know what you're doing.
You're grabbing tits.
Yeah. I couldn't say that.
Grabbing tits.
But I would say this: if you have with Blue Bottle, if you do a double or like if you do a single espresso with milk, it's great. But if you do more than that, the coffee's too bitter. It doesn't the acidity anyway. But the Andante is my favorite cup of coffee in town.
Oh, you've been to Intelligentsia?
Yeah, they have it in Chicago.
Yeah,
That's
that
where it
started.
started.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Chicago.
And what do you
Chicago.
think of it?
Chicago.
I wonder if it's the water that we use out here. I wonder if they use filtered water. I don't know, and I have not. I had it one time. I thought it was good. I've had it in
It's
Chicago.
not a Dante.
It's that's what their slogan is. We're not Andante. But
You get just the drip, or you get a cappuccino or latte?
I get an iced latte. I get 4 shots.
Okay.
Iced latte.
Hey, Brandon, come on, give him a chance, man. What? Come on.
Well, yeah, I was
There
on
is no
board with
drip.
the Japanese and the Italian shit.
Listen,
and then
B-Money.
iced coffee is for terrorists. You can't taste a good coffee when it's iced.
I have to do it that way because when I drink a hot beverage, I sweat like a man who
too.
thinks he's going to be found out about something. And so the moment it's like drinking,
That's my life.
Nobody consumes soup that fast unless you're in communist Russia.
Yeah, and you have a
I'm
minute.
talking to you, communist Russia.
You're bad on everybody, bro.
All of our sponsors.
Dude, these are all
Dude, they pay our bills.
Yes.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Russian ruble. And the thing is, so I just like that because I need a cold beverage. Like this water, I keep these in the fridge, man. I got to drink.
Have you
cold,
had the fucking nitro brew from Starbucks?
That's fucking
You don't
good.
go there, but that nitro
No, no,
brew,
it's
good.
I've heard it's very good.
The Playa Vista one's one of the first ones to do it. Man, that shit, that'll get you
good.
crunk.
Oh, it'll crunk
But
you up.
Intelligentsia is great. Phil's Coffee's my number one. The pour over at
I
Phil's.
wonder though, is that because they're using cream, and is that what makes it good?
No, I don't put cream in my coffee.
Right.
Very rarely. No.
It's
Excuse
good,
me,
though.
sir.
They have good
The
coffee.
cream?
Yeah.
Everyone uses the same fucking cream.
No, but cream, if they put a lot of cream in there, sometimes it can be like,
No. You order it yourself.
Right.
They don't put. You can say I want little cream, medium
Right,
cream,
right.
a lot of cream. They never just do cream.
Right.
You gotta tell.
Sorry.
You know what, man? This
Hey,
coffee
man.
conversation is over.
There's no drip
You like
coffee in
Blue
a
Bottle,
Hey, guys,
and
hold
you
on.
only drink ice
Hold on.
cream,
There is
and you don't know
no-
shit.
Hey,
Listen.
man.
I'm coming for you, bro. No. I'm coming for you.
Starbucks.
No, Brandon. I just call you out. Brendan. I just call you out. I'm like done. No. There's no drip at Andante. It's all pour over.
Yeah, I know. But
So it takes like 20 minutes.
You just get a black pour over.
Well, they have like 10 different kinds.
I'll go there
I'm gonna
right
go there.
fucking now.
Where are we going to lunch?
Let's go. No, we're
We gotta
going.
figure out a
We got-
live
I was
show.
gonna say, we have-
I'm going to
we got
take
some
you.
work to do, brother.
Be money. I'm going to take you, and then whatever. It's on me,
All right, you called me B Money. We're back in the friend zone.
brother. I'm getting B and then a $sign. Yes. If you like Andante,
On those
and then
guns?
you just get Andante,
I'll just get it.
John, Kite, you're going to be hanging out with us. You're in the Abercrombie Fight Club now. You know that.
brother. Can I tell you something? We're not supposed to talk about it because of Fight Club, but I have never wanted anything more in my life than to be in a Fight Club.
And can I tell you something? You
You're
just got
in.
jumped in. You just got jumped
You're
in.
in. You mentioned Blue Bottle, nice
haven't-
coffee
we
though.
haven't-
I'm
We're gonna
the
jump you
Jared
out.
Leto of this Fight Club.
And
Gorgeous.
By the way, tell him who Spirit. Hold on. Tell him who Jared Leto is, Brennan. Tell
My
him
spirit animal.
it's a spirit animal.
You're in.
Dude,
You're in.
By the way, that's a spirit
And
animal.
he called me B Money.
We haven't jumped anybody in since Michael Rappaport.
We're gonna kick the shit out of
Woo,
you.
that's in
after
good
this.
company. I
just gonna
love
kick the
Michael
shit out of you
Rappaport.
after
We don't have a lot of people in the
And then-
Abercrombie Fight Club. We haven't even mentioned Abercrombie Fight
Yeah,
Club.
and then
You just
this
got
part,
jumped in.
it's gonna sting a little. We gotta see your piece.
Got to see a piece.
So when you're
That's
taking a
gonna sting
piss,
a
I'm
little
just gonna
bit.
glance over, make sure you're all right.
Which shows you're hot.
Yeah, like now you have to say he didn't.
I did it.
Yeah.
Because
You got some-
I didn't know. He extended the offer. I didn't know. It's like,
Yeah.
gangs in New York.
Dude,
But you got Norwegian, you got some Hungarian, and you're probably working with something.
Have you been to Hungary?
No, I'd love to go. Budapest.
Dude, I've been there a couple times.
Dude, you guys
It's
should go together.
Such. This is okay. I'm trying to get.
I
to
love
it.
when
What a
people
weird.
do that. You haven't been there? Oh, bro. I'm just like, no, I have been there. All right.
I'm asking him, but it's a long-winded speech.
Budapest. I
Budapest.
hear, which was spared in the war.
Dude,
is
you
supposed to be
guys
beautiful.
should talk about all the places you've been, and then kind of you give him the history on all the places, and you give yours. And it's gonna be
On
so
that
fun.
other- on that
we
other
should
podcast,
get coffee
on
on
that other
that.
podcast.
I was just gonna say this
On
is
the-
Inception
on the-
podcast.
yeah.
It's a
It's just
podcast within a podcast.
It's on the Post Fighter and the Kid show.
All right, brother. Where can they find you? Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, Two Broke Girls.
At Jonathan Kite, Kite. Jonathan Kite.
Boom. Stand up, man of fucking many talents.
Yes, come see me at the Algonquin Theater September 30th.
Wait a minute,
in
I'm
Ottawa.
booked there for.
Are you? The 30th? Friday?
on.
Ah,
just-
shit.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Finding the Kid,
Algonquin.
while you guys are listening to this, we will be flying to San Jose. That bitch is sold out, so don't bother getting tickets.
First time
But
it's sold out in a while.
October, we're in Oxnard and Brea, and then November, Palm Beach, California, Palm Beach, Florida, 11th and 12th. And on the 10th, we're in Atlanta. Those tickets go on sale Friday. I see you dirty birds asking. Friday for Atlanta, November 10th. This is the Finding the Kid. We're out.